Horse cage. Now you got Gordon Gag. Wouldn't be the first time.
It's just the idea of people handing that thing around to do that with.
Yeah. And we're back.
Dude,
I didn't say it.
Take like one person.
You just said and we're back.
That's not what I normally say.
Will, you want to do the recap?
I'd love to.
Don't forget the chat upstairs, though.
Sam, were you here?
What?
I wasn't here the past 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay.
Oh.
So then I will give a recap
Okay,
of the past
yeah.
2 weeks for Sam.
Yeah, we had just been invited to the dinner, and we'd gone back, found out the innkeepers were like...
Don't forget that Ash has a new boyfriend.
more or less secret agents.
Right.
And we'd gotten ready to go, and that was pretty much whatever.
That's where you ended off. The next morning, not the next morning, it was more like an afternoon sort of dinner. Yeah, so we headed off there a little bit early in the afternoon for the dinner. We were allowed into the palace after so we got there, we had to do a zone of truth, make sure we weren't having any weapons on us. As we're all going through the zone of truth, make sure we have no weapons. Oglen is after the zone of truth, and everyone's let in. Oglen is pulled upstairs by essentially the champion that he had fought in the arena before. And the champion wanted to know if this was indeed Alkar's strongest. And Oglen said, nope. And said, you can taste our strongest, or you can do the right thing and join us, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He did it very well, and I don't want to even try and recreate it to do him injustice.
I can watch the video.
So he was let go back to the dinner below. While we were at the dinner table, the guy who invited us, he is essentially one of the house leaders, and I have his name right here. Abatil, I think it was. That was his last name.
Yeah.
Salid Abatil. He was our sponsor to this particular dinner. Salon. That's right.
Salon, yeah.
Salon Abatil.
Salid's the bad guy that we're gonna go.
Salid essentially is the leader of the council. Salon is one of the members of the council. Salon said, I'm the reason you're here because I invited you. I need to go take care of something, but while I'm taking care of a thing, create as much of a embarrassment of yourself as you can. I think was more or less the gist. So we acted the fool at the party. Trying scarfing food down our throats and drinking loudly, slurping, burping. Ash tried to have sex with just the first person he saw.
What move? It was actually a group.
Oh, yeah, it's actually true. Ash wanted to be watertight, so he went up to the first group he saw.
Thorin puts his feet on the table.
Yes. Yeah. After we're done making the fool and making monocles pop out of their eye sockets, Salon comes back and says, "Thank you, you did an excellent job making a fool of yourself. Let's all sit down and eat."
We almost got beat up by some dudes.
Yep, we did. That's all part of that. Salid, the leader of all the councils, says, "Your guests were very rude. You fucked up, Salon. And I want you and your guests to leave right now." So he kicked us out of the party. And that was the first session. The second session, we get back to our hotel after being told to fuck off. Once we get to the hotel, we are then invited to hit Salon's estate. Salon says, "Hey, I have an important message for you. Come." The next morning, before we can really decide if we want to go or if we want to run, his house majordomo comes with an escort saying, "I'm here to escort you to Salon's estate." We get to Salon's estate, and Salon has a proposal for us. Work for him in this house war that he had us essentially start by acting rude, and he would pay us handsomely. If not, then he could just say bye-bye. A few of us were mulling around the fact that we really wanted to, and we asked, what do we get out of it? What's our reward? I think Gordon can take over from there.
Have you done the recap already?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's impressive. Well, I think that's the fastest recap you've ever done. I was like, I've got 5 minutes. I'm good.
Yeah, he said you're kicked out of the party, and we said, well, your lineage is kicked out of existence. Well, not yet.
So yes, we asked Salon what our reward is for being his hired guns, and
he said the pee-pee-poo-poo.
yeah.
And he responded with, well, if you assist me in the house war, I will reward each of you with a war griffin if that griffin chooses just to ride with you.
I could have a griffin friend?
No, you could have a war griffin, which is a fully armored griffin.
But it's also your friend.
The catch was that the griffin had to choose you, right? You couldn't just go into the stable and be like, I want that one. They had to, like, choose you.
Right.
Yeah, and then Matteo died.
Do you want to fill him in? Would anybody like to fill him in with what Salon said about if you decide to attempt to befriend a griffin?
Yeah. One of you guys that
Oh,
went through it want to do that?
Yeah, you're supposed to be very respectful and treat them as like almost like nobility. Otherwise, they're gonna bite your head off and kill you, and then you die.
Wasn't your head inside of a griffin's mouth?
Yeah, it was, and then he didn't kill me.
Did the Shamu thing. It was like, look what I can do.
And yeah, and then it didn't kill me. And then
Shut up.
and then I did the same thing to him.
I like unhinged my jaw and just.
The griffin coughed in his face and gave him COVID.
Yeah, and then he died.
Griffin COVID.
Grovid.
If I were closer to you, I'd hit you.
I can get up.
No, it's
I know. I was waiting for Sam to say something. I was like,
And in addition to getting these war griffins, the salon is also offering to like feed and care for them for their entire
oh yeah.
their
for
entire
the
lives.
for the entire duration that they serve you or your descendants. I was very clear though that if your character dies, it's not something that can just be inherited by somebody else in the guild, right? Like there's a whole dance. And we ended the session with only 2 people actively attempting this, attempting to befriend any griffins, and Matteo and Truegar were both successful, though Matteo was barely successful.
We haven't actually agreed to help yet.
Yeah,
Also,
nobody's agreed. Like, no agreements have been made.
Yeah.
This is just
Meeting them.
I would
meeting
very
the
much like to
griffins.
agree to
If
it.
we choose not to help, he is going to give us mounts.
Shitty
Right.
mounts.
Basic mounts to get
Yeah.
through the desert, but you have to bring them back.
Because we did more or less help him accomplish what he wanted, and that was to act a fool with the party. That's what he wanted.
Right.
Yeah. And Sano wants to be a griffin now because he rolled a d20.
He wants to
That was
be
his
one.
first.
You want
dice
to be
roll.
one?
Yeah, replace
Yeah.
the scales with feathers.
Griffin touched.
Now I got feathers and scales. Does it cancel out like PEMDAS?
I have to roll some dice real quick.
I do not actually think that's how
Before you get
PEMDAS
into
works.
that.
It is just a joke.
Makes you turn over to those like pterodactyls that have like feathers at the end of their wings.
Or just a chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like what a velociraptor would have actually looked like and not in Jurassic Park. You know?
Yeah.
This mangled, feathery, molted mess. And
Since hair can't be
Okay.
preserved in
I
pop
was
and
like, how
fossils, maybe
possible
they
is
actually
it I
just had
rolled
like
2
cool
completely
hair.
different sets
big old afro.
of the for
Could be the first
D100s,
chocobo in the.
and I get the same exact roll in both of them at the same time.
Hey.
But then I looked closer, and I was not the same. It was
Oh,
not
no.
the case.
They were-
69.
One was a 51, and the other was an 81.
Oh, okay.
So Matteo walks back, and he's standing in the side, and he looks like his legs are a little wobbly. Truegar's still kind of leaning on like the post, holding up the roof, and Matteo's kind of standing next to him, and they both look very like very pale and not scared, but like they just went through something that was like unexpected. But they both have this like look of exhilaration on their faces.
Oh my god.
And Salon looks around and says, "Well, would anybody else like to try?"
Sano stepped forward and is like, all right, and so walks into the center.
I'll
Okay.
see you on the other side, buddy.
Sano waves to Matteo and
Not to sound too excited.
Okay. So Sano gets to the center and he stands there for a minute, and then you guys watch as like 5 griffins from the edge of the arena start slowly walking to the center, and they walk around the outside once or twice, and then one of them goes back in, and the others come closer.
Alright, time to turn it off.
A random stable boy begins playing the lute.
Matteo puts his away. Oh,
Dude,
now it's not
honestly,
the time.
it would have been phenomenal if that had been like some aggressive, heavy plotline music or something. I'd have been like, wow, I guess shit's getting serious.
And the boss is here. No.
I didn't think we were starting this feud.
You thought you were getting friends.
Just Fanny saying she's coming home, that's all.
You have chosen death.
Oh, that was your phone.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was like music on the computer. Shit.
Fanny's saying she's heading home.
So, Sano's standing out there, and he's got 4 griffins that are slowly closing on him. And it doesn't look like they're being nice, right? It looks like they're stalking prey. Like they're actually getting ready to eat something. And they're within arm's reach of you. What are you doing?
Just trying to control my breathing and just act, calm, and just try and stay at peace and not freak out because I'm being stalked down by a giant bunch of bird lions.
Okay.
Bird lion, giant bird lions.
So, there it is. So one of them loses interest and walks away.
Only one? Surprising.
Only one. Everyone around the edge of the arena who's watching can roll perception. Matteo and Truegar do not have to roll perception. I'm going to say you're hyper focused right now about what's going on.
11.
19.
Dimble staring at his coin purse.
Did you not win?
Yeah.
Wow, money.
Jingle, jingle.
Wait, Dimble, you could ask me. I hear he said it.
Yeah, he's already resolved the roll.
You're supposed to say it, because
It's
otherwise
not
I
worth wasting.
won't know. I mean, I get it back.
He
in
can't
10
resolve the
seconds.
roll with me. Like he can say, "Oh, can I get your lucky?" He can do that. But, actually, I don't know. I'll look into it. But
'Cause I
there's
thought
a
you
way
had
to say what you got without telling me
Yeah.
that you've resolved the roll. But he resolved the roll
Okay.
with me. Anybody roll less than a 15?
That's surprising.
So if you did not roll less than a 15, and if you're Matteo or Truegar, you notice that 2 of the griffins look like they're actually becoming aggressive. And one of the griffins seems to be losing interest of the 3 that are left.
Oh my god. I mean, mine was aggressive, but not like that.
Like you're seeing like neck feathers ruffle up and...
Let's hope they're not hungry.
Oh, yeah, that was. I think they got fed pretty well, though. I don't know.
So,
Maybe they got.
before we continue, I need you to understand that your character could die. For real, could die. Okay.
Hopefully.
None of us have a big
I'm gonna,
None of us have a big ass diamond.
I'm gonna lean into Oglen and say, I think they know that he's the drugging.
Drugging.
Yeah, what do you mean he's
Shit.
No, that's not it at all.
He's on
actually.
peas.
Okay.
I didn't see it happen.
You know what it is? Yeah, okay.
Sano, if you just want to bow out, just get on your knees, prostrate. Maybe they'll leave you alone.
I think that's even worse. That means they're gonna just kill him. Execute
I
him.
don't know that anybody would actually interfere, right?
No.
Oh, I grasp Matteo's hand and goes, oh, all he has to do is just bow down if he doesn't want it. Like to Matteo.
Yeah, you don't hear that.
Seeing the danger that Sano's in, I probably asked the salon, is there anything he can do to avoid this danger?
The salon looks at Ash and very seriously says, I've told you guys everything you need to know.
He didn't do.
Dimble looks up and he says, danger. Danger, what are you talking about?
I'd probably just.
And Dimble sees in the center that there are 2 griffins that literally look like they're about to eat Sano.
Seeing that Sano's standing up, he's going to use message and tell him, don't.
But it's not just that he's standing up, it's that he's standing up and puffing out his chest.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you said you were taking a deep breath and
Yeah, you take
Standing
a
up
breath,
straight.
it looks like your chest.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
Dim-
it's more of a
Dimble uses
meditative
message and
breathing
tells
way.
Sano, don't forget to bow.
Uh,
There you go.
the only thing Dimble notices is dangerous is how dangerously low his coin purse is looking. Danger. Yeah, this is.
well, Dimble used message.
Okay. Well, Sano gonna try and act like he hears it, but he's trying to act like.
Oh no, you can't. You have to hear it. It's literally
Okay,
in
yeah.
your head.
Yeah, but he's trying not to react to it and he's just and then he bows
Yeah, roll performance.
okay.
You got it.
I would have just crumpled like a big mess.
See it.
Pee yourself, poo yourself.
Is that including modifiers?
Retro rugby.
Shit, I'm breaking my mask. Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to roll some dice.
Go roll some dice.
I do have to roll some dice. Wow. That's awkward. That's awkward. What's your AC?
17.
Okay.
Good to live with your armor.
I know you guys got to drive home.
Uh-oh.
Record your conversation while you're driving home, please.
And nat 20, by the way.
Okay.
My first roll of the night. That's amazing.
Where's the great place?
That die has been rolled twice tonight.
Yeah.
Actually, it's been rolled more than twice. It's been rolled like 7 or 8 times.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thanks, 15.
Rest of age.
Let's see. These are war griffins.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about to hit because they crit.
Yeah.
But 4d8s
This is a good die tonight.
plus another 32. Luckily, only one of them is actually attacking you. So,
Luckily, you only died from one.
so it's 32. So it's 36 plus. Wow.
Uh-oh.
19, 26 plus 36 is 62.
Yep.
You take 62 damage
Probably killed him.
A claw, a bite.
as a griffin reaches out and just grabs your shoulder and yanks you to the ground because you went too slow to bow.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like Sano is in like serious trouble. Like in terms of total health, about how much of your total health is it?
Well, that was half after the Hero's Feast. So I'm at about. You took about a third of my total, my max health.
So you have like 80 health total.
I had 93, and I'm down to 66.
That's not quite enough to actually blood you. Okay, never mind. So Sano's on his knee, and this griffin is holding his shoulder in its beak, and the other two griffins have left, like they've gone to the side.
Right.
So it's pretty clear that if there's a relationship to be made, it's between the two that are the griffin in the arena and Sano.
Yeah.
It's standing there holding you on your knee. What are you doing?
I like bow my head and just like I'm not prostrating or anything, but like more like, okay, if you're gonna do it, do it.
So now you're gonna be a little bitch.
No,
Shit,
not,
why?
No, I'm not. No,
receptive.
not like
He's ready
as a
for it.
little bitch, but like I
do
wrote like
Come on, I want you to eat me.
He's goading her.
it wasn't a goad. It was more of a okay.
He said, do it, bitch. Now we're gonna have to deal with the great gold.
So
Now we're gonna have to deal with great golds.
he like bows his head and then looks up and just like stares and just is like.
Roll intimidation.
That's always
You
a
got
good
it,
sign.
Sano.
Go for submission.
You've got it, Sano.
18.
Hey.
Now, if you can kill him before he kills you, then...
And he's yours.
Yeah. Well, at least the carcasses.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited. Oh, it's even
Ah!
You let me down!
You got the halfling that one.
Yes!
No!
So you guys watch as Sano just, well, not all of you can see exactly what's going on. Some of the taller people can kind of see Sano's head over the griffin, at the top of the griffin's head. And some of the taller guys, you see that like Sano is almost looking right at the griffin. And it's almost like, not really a defiant stare, but like if you're going to do it, just do it. No sense in standing here. And after a second, the griffin lets go. What does Sano do when the griffin lets go and steps back a step?
Sano just like nods his head in appreciation and just steps back and then just stands back up and then just like bows as in like okay.
Okay, so while that's happening, Salon looks around and says, "Well, that's the nicest that griffin's ever been to anyone." He's never bonded with anyone before.
Has that griffin shown aggression to other griffins?
This is the Pack Alpha, or the Pride Alpha. So the griffin bows to Sano, and then stands up and starts circling again What's Sano doing?
Sano's like, you know, he's at this point he's realized, okay, this is danger. This is danger.
He didn't get
but
that out
I
of
did
the first two.
Yeah. Well, and then he's understands
This
that
is
this
danger.
is
No way.
the type of situation where he can't be foolish, he can't be brash, but he can't like really cave either, because he understands that this griffin like is responding better to him being, you know, a little bit more
Not a bitch.
yeah. And so Sano, he's just like at, you know, seems more or less at peace, because he understands that if he, whatever this griffin's gonna do, this griffin's gonna do, but he's not gonna try and like impose himself on the griffin, but he's not going to back
Cool.
down
Roll
either.
percentile.
Also, just so it's on the open, Thorn's messing around with his mess kit at the moment.
Okay. Oh my God! Somebody's dying. Somebody's dying.
24.
How many?
24.
Okay.
You know, I'm not gonna roll your.
They're not my dice. They're your dice.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters what dice you roll.
I'm 4.
No, I mean I don't think it matters because you just roll like crap every time.
You're right.
They got
You're
rolled.
right.
We'll see.
Like I think the only time you've ever rolled well is when you were sitting next to Sam and rolled his dice.
And the
True.
D20 before we actually.
And the
started
D20
playing.
before it
Yeah,
mattered.
there it is.
I roll other people's dice. Maybe that's it.
Possible. So you guys watch as the griffin circles Sano, and Sano looks like he's on the cusp of collapsing from his wound. Right? It didn't look that bad, but now that the griffin's let go, and you can see like a giant gash in his shoulder, and blood is pouring down fairly steadily. And it's also seemed to excite a bunch of the griffins around the edge of the arena. What has happened? So the ones who haven't like bonded with anybody are kind of like close to the edge, and they're like that anxious step in, step back out type thing.
And do the hokey pokey.
We got the scar on our face. He's gonna have a big hole in his shoulder.
I'd like to like continue just lock eyes with the griffin, but like in like a not like a.
Oh, you don't get to choose how it is. You just locked eyes with a stalking animal. You got to roll intimidation.
It's like Harambe
Please
all
let me
over
finish
again.
my sentence.
You will not.
So you have chosen him.
Sounds like good.
Is it a wonderful roll? No.
It's even worse.
It's a 2.
7. So.
It could be a 2.
It
That's
could
a
be
halfling
worse.
that one.
I'll let you re-roll once.
No.
Do you want a different dice?
Can I roll one of your dice?
Oh.
That one's.
Yes.
You're being
That
far
was a
too
double-edged
nice.
sword.
Holy shit. It's either going to roll really well or really bad. That one instead.
Oh
no!
Oh
That one you're just guaranteed to roll poorly. Unless you want to roll poorly.
You got this, Sano.
I can't see it.
16. 16. Could be worse.
Could definitely be worse. I'll roll that one.
I'll roll that one.
You're being incredibly generous.
But Gordon, we can't see it because your hands are in the way.
Ooh.
We can't
He's
see it 'cause
making
your
a
hands are in the
frowny
way.
face.
He's
How much health do you have left?
Oh no.
67.
He's playing us for a fool. I'm kidding. He's
Roll
not
a
playing
20.
us. He's not playing us for a fool, guys. I lied.
Again?
No, roll 3.
I
called it. And you rolled an 18.
And an 18 accidentally. See, I didn't even care about that roll. So the griffin stops stalking and is standing almost shoulder to shoulder with Sano, and the griffin like pushes Sano. Give me a strength check, please.
Shoulder check.
His best stat.
Okay, I'm thinking about which die to roll. Did you see that?
13.
Okay.
Not great, but.
Not terrible. Could be worse.
The griffin pushes Sano down to the ground. It's not like a shove. It's just like somebody shoulder checking you.
It's not like a shove, but it's like.
Well, it's not like an aggressive, hateful shove. More like, you know, your friend sees you and pushes you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, there's not a whole lot of force into it, but the griffin happened to push on the side where you had the injury,
Yeah.
so it was harder for you to resist it and stand there. You can have an inspiration.
Can I give it to Sano?
No.
Dang it.
And then Sano's gonna like stand back up, but like slowly because you know he's nurturing like a giant claw gash. But you know
It's not a claw. He
well,
bit you with his
oh,
beak.
Okay.
You got like a
Okay.
hole on either side of your shoulder.
Okay.
Oh, you thought it was a claw, I think.
Yeah.
It definitely was not a claw. We can pause and rewatch the video.
Was it the
like a
beak?
giant
It was a beak.
Okay, I got a
Alright,
story.
well,
You said
it's a
claw,
beak,
too.
everybody. It's a beak. So Sano, you know, he's got a giant gash on his shoulder essentially. So he's getting up slow, but he's getting up. Like
Okay.
he's not like just gonna sit there.
Okay. Roll charisma.
-7.
On this one.
Yep, that's why I put him there. Okay, don't roll that one again.
It's like a 1.
It was a
It was a what?
Ooh, that's his dump stat. Yeah, Charisma's my dump stat.
Sano the Strong.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Here.
Trying to not roll it over
There
the
you go.
spine of the
Just
notebook.
gonna-
Yeah, you got it. There it is.
He nat 20.
Wow.
I just can't look. I just can't look.
Look, Mono,
Okay,
hands.
that's the last time you get to roll that.
That's fine.
So Sano stands up, and the griffin walks around him again, and the griffin like lifts its wing up and like intentionally shoves him with the wing just a step or two away. And Salon shouts from the edge, "Well, he's asking you to get on."
Well,
I refuse!
all right. Well, Sano is like, okay, and so you know he
Should
gets
we-
on.
Should we heal his wound so he doesn't bleed out while he's up there first?
I mean, I would offer to heal his wound if I were you, and you could, just to keep him from actually dying.
Thorin does
He's the
that.
son of-
Yeah.
Well, Sano's already trying to get on the griffin.
Well, that's why Thorin went like,
Yeah, right. So Oglen's there. Well, I mean, I can get him with some of Alkar's power, but I don't know. Don't want to make him look weak. And then
Dude who owns them just said to heal
I
them.
can heal a little bit, but I have to
Sano's
touch it.
getting on the griffin because he's not like this is like he's bucked up to the griffin at this.
Sano's on the griffin.
yeah,
So can anyone do
The
it at
griffin
range?
lifts
Yeah.
off.
Shane on
That's-
divinity.
The griffin is
Yeah.
already lifted off.
All right, one for the
It's
sun.
like fireworks from the blood.
Yeah.
Oh, I got some in my eye. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh,
This is a
wait, what is-
4D
So as the griffin
period.
lifts off the ground, I'm going to need you to make a strength check.
Okay.
You have to do it at disadvantage because you have a busted shoulder.
Don't worry, I got a 2 on mine.
while that's happening,
Good news.
Or like a 3 or something.
Disadvantage is a good thing.
Yeah.
Well,
Wow, that's disappointing. You rolled another nat 20.
What was the other one?
I can't see it.
it's not a nat 20.
Not that's funny.
The halfling that one?
He just rolled 2 extremes, a 20 and a 2.
No.
Yeah.
So you watch as the griffin lifts off of the ground, and like 7 or 8 feet in the air, Sano just slips off and falls to the ground. You're gonna need to take like 4 bludgeoning damage.
I remember my first time falling off a griffin.
Big thud
Like it
as
was
the dirt
last week.
sprays up.
Like He's only like 8 feet up.
ago.
so I just remembered I'll use my celestial healing on him to help him out now, I guess, since we can't for
Okay.
launch.
So the griffin circles in the air for a minute or two, looking down, and Matteo and Truegar can clearly hear that like weird laughing sound.
Cackling.
Yeah, as it's circling in the air, and it lands back down, and it pokes you with its beak to make you get up faster.
All right. I scurry up.
Okay.
Also heal yourself for 10 with my.
So the wound
Celestial.
closes, but it's still sore, it's still tender. And you notice that normally when you're healed with magic, there are no scars, but you have a scar from this.
Is it scars or scales?
Scars.
Okay.
He said, yes, it's not a scale.
You can just mind fuck him. It's feathers.
Okay.
That would so have fucked with him just then. I thought about it, but I was like, no, because that would just not be true.
But it'd be cool.
It's a man bear dragon.
These are all
Man,
at
bird
your
dragon.
disposal. Just pick at random.
So you get back on the griffin, and the griffin lifts up. So give me that strength check, normal. And it doesn't seem like the griffin jumps up as aggressively this time.
Maybe you need to change how you roll.
10. Do some acrobatics.
What is wrong with you?
Oh, bad.
Do you like roll so badly so much?
I don't know.
I'm surprised you still want to play D&D with how you
Oh
roll.
God, I know. It's 10, but
Okay, somehow you managed to hold on. Maybe I shouldn't be nice now, though, because I'm not going to be nice when you're in the air. So the griffin goes straight up. And he's up there for a minute or two, and you're having a blast. And then the griffin does a barrel roll. Roll a strength check.
Splat, splat, splat.
Is this within view of us? Like,
No, this is like 1,000 or 2,000 feet up.
Okay.
13.
And all you can see is just a speck up in the sky.
And then another speck.
Yeah. So you watch as that happens.
Oh no.
You watch as the speck turns into 2 specks, and 1 speck is falling. Everyone can roll perception who's looking up in the sky. Because Sano is screaming right now, right?
So, I mean, I wouldn't say he's screaming. No.
He's not yelling that he's falling to his death.
I wouldn't say he's screaming. That's because he's too busy screaming. 22.
Yeah. I mean,
Even Truegar.
yeah, he probably
screamed on
would
the way
be
down.
screaming because I don't think Sano's ever been up this high, like ever. So yeah,
We climbed a tree once.
So
not even that high.
Sano is falling, and all Sano is seeing is the ground rushing at him. And you guys see this speck falling, and after a second or two of it falling, you start hearing, ah! And then like another second later, you watch as the first speck flies down under the second speck and catches him.
Oh, for a second there, I thought I was going to have a free spot in my book for me to sign.
So it catches him, and then you watch as it flies straight for a second, and then it does a corkscrew straight down. Roll a strength check.
Oh no.
I slapped Matteo on the shoulder and go, I remember my first time.
I remember it like it was 5 minutes ago. 16.
Okay. Somehow Sano manages to hold on. You're pretty sure it's because he's not just holding. You're pretty sure he's wrapped around this thing as it's corkscrewing down. And after another 20 or 30 seconds of just flying down in a corkscrew, the griffin lands. And Sano goes to get off. Give me a dexterity check.
Hey, Matteo.
Sound effects. You gotta do it.
He's out of range.
You gotta do it.
That's the first
It's like what? He's out of range.
He's like, oh my god, I could help him, but what's going to happen if I don't?
How far is he from me?
He's on the ground.
Yeah, but how far from me?
Like 45, 50 feet?
Only if you not one again, though. That's how bountiful my luck is. Two.
You act like you were going to die from a nat 1 on the ground.
And I thought I was like, do I do it? But
He
was
falls on
looking
the
at me
ground,
like,
the other one's saving for food.
23.
Oh, damn.
I don't like it. I'm using my luck to make you reroll that.
DM's luck. Bountiful unluck.
I think I might make that a rule.
14.
Bountiful unluck.
Your first roll was a 23?
I thought we called
Well,
it
no, my
cosmic
first roll was a
Cosmic
1.
luck, yeah.
Was the halfling?
The halfling roll was 23.
Well, yeah, that's the roll that counts.
Yeah.
You didn't have to use it.
I know, I was really tempted not to, but he was looking at me like, please.
I wasn't going to kill his character, but
Oh, I know, but I
fell
thought,
getting off the fucking griffin.
I know.
So you watch as Sano steps off the griffin, and you can see his knees are weak as
Arms are heavy.
he gets on the ground. And he takes a step or two, and it almost looks like he's starting to stumble. But then you realize it's just his inability to fully move his right arm that has thrown off his gait, and stops in front of the griffin, and the griffin bows it one more time.
I bow right back.
Okay, good job. And the griffin walks off to the side. And Salon looks at everybody around him and says, "Huh, that's a little worrying."
Why is that worrying?
Because Evan Beaks never bonded with anybody in any way whatsoever. And he like looks behind him at a couple of the handlers and said they're terrified of him.
I guess it's appropriate. The world heading in the way it is now. It's good that some things are new.
Don't be writing anything on your character sheet. You don't get it.
Lost shoulder. Don't write that down. Oh, never mind.
Healed shoulder.
All righteous.
Why
Oh,
not
love
put
'em.
back on him? There's another one right here.
Oh man, nice.
Yeah.
I was rationing them for when we needed his
Instead of it's
kindness.
Right chip for at advantage roll, please.
Please don't kill Sano.
It's a good idea. No, it's not. You guys would go out of your way to buy bags of Chex Mix and just bring these.
That would be our side
We,
hustle.
we run out and Gordon's like,
Just-
come on,
Just
I'm about to kill the character, where are they?
guys, we have to filter more Chex Mix.
So, Sano has successfully bowed. Then this griffin walks away, back over to its little area. And you watch as the other griffins move out of its way as it waits.
Okay, I walk back to the group and just say, that was fun. And like,
Cool, roll a Constitution save.
cool.
We see.
Hey.
Or hear the gurgling.
Gordon, what timeout is it, like in the day?
7.
I think
Mid-morning.
you should roll
It's,
that.
yeah, it's
Mid-morning.
like 9-ish.
Like 9-ish?
8, 9
It's so
o'clock.
bad. Prison that.
Yeah, he doesn't
after
get up
today.
until he doesn't get up at sunrise.
Yeah. So it's like 9.
It's like
9:30.
9-ish, 9:30. Yeah.
Okay, Matteo's gonna sit down, open up his ration, pull out the sliding thing, and start on third breakfast.
It's a really awkward place to do that, but okay.
Especially as the guy's throwing up.
7.
So the people closest to Sano, everybody roll percentile for me. Let's see who's actually the closest to him.
Please don't do me. Please don't do me.
25.
Matteo and Truegar have already said they're like off to
Yeah,
the
we're
side,
off to the
leaning
side.
against the
Yeah.
post. So
We're in the cool kids club.
We got an 11. So.
Fuck, Sano.
57.
85.
78.
So I think I heard an 85
I had 85.
and an 84.
78.
What was yours?
He is the person.
Wait, yeah, why am I asking? What
How
was
close
yours?
are you? 100?
74. Okay. So Thorin and Brudall are the closest to Sano.
Makes sense.
And you could all kind of hear like that stomach noise that somebody makes right before they're about to throw up. So you two can make dexterity saving throws. And if you fail the throw, you're just going to immediately make a con save.
Oh no. Do they get to add plus
It's a
7?
chain
from
reaction
Oglen's
of
aura?
Technically, yes, but I was hoping Oglen didn't say anything about it.
I think it's more
Is it
funny
next?
if they don't get it.
What is it?
Plus 7.
22.
But that's if he gives it to you.
25.
So you watch as Sano just like retches like on the ground in front of him, and you watch as like Thorin and Brudall somehow manage to get like out of the way expertly, and nothing
An
gets
extra
on
5 feet of movement I got.
Mateo's gonna stand
You're
up.
supposed to do
That's
that
how
like
it
anime
feels.
But Matteo, having seen this and smelling it, now needs to make a Constitution saving throw because he's eating food.
From that far away?
You're like 10 feet away.
Okay, con save. I got 22.
Yeah, Mateo's like, oh,
Interesting.
that sucks.
Yeah.
That's how it feels. I go over and push him in it. Now you know how I feel.
Oh wait, you have to roll at disadvantage for your con save. I'm sorry. Thank you for reminding me.
Okay, I still got an 18.
Okay.
This sucks.
First breakfast again. So he looks at Salon looks at Sano and says, "It was exhilarating, wasn't it?" Well, except for the part where it looked like he was going to eat you.
And Sano is like, just kind of like dry heaves again, like just from like the thought of like spinning around in the air, just like violently, and he just kind of.
Roll a con save. I already know you're going to fail because you have only succeeded on rolls you've done with other people's dice.
I did it with another person's thing. I did it with another person's 21.
Okay. Does not throw up again.
I want to be careful. Skylar's gonna steal our dice.
No, because if he steals them, then they're his.
Yeah, so I can't. I just can't.
So
use
the
mine.
luck would now your luck's probably gone with your dice though. You should roll whatever die he just rolled just to see.
Guess I gotta burn them.
You're gonna be burning dice every week.
Yep. No, that's true.
No, I mean, not quite. Not quite. Yeah, I just have mediocre luck.
It's
I
like
don't-
an 8.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's dead.
It's alright. I actually rolled all of them at the beginning, and the 2 that rolled the best today, I didn't give to you.
No, good. Good.
You can't let him take them.
So Salon looks around and says, "Well, that's 3 of you. Is anybody else Actually, before we even do this, are you guys interested in working for me?"
Yes, I am.
Brew is gonna look at Dimble and Oglen and try to see where they're standing with this, because he really wants to do this, but he also doesn't want to break from what we've said is our mission.
Yeah. So it seemed like last week, Dimble was probably the biggest proponent of let's not do this, let's go to the desert. Whereas Oglen's the biggest proponent of let's do this and we'll go to the desert afterward.
Ash is brewing
So
in the corner
we're
of the
probably
stall.
seeming like opposite faces.
Brew would look at you,
Okay,
not out
sorry.
of excitement, then look at Dimble.
We gotta take down this tyrannical ruler.
Oh, roll persuasion.
Persuasion? What do I have in that? Where's the key?
Roll percentile.
21.
Okay, yeah, roll percentile. Dimble's not super easily persuaded normally, so. Okay.
Just from the spectacle, though, he's kind of not as dead set strong stance, but still kind of leaning towards just wanting to.
I mean, just think of it like this. If we go in on camels, that'll take us 14, 20 days. If we go in on our new friends, then, you know, it could be.
That's if we
3
survive
days.
that long. Who's long knows how long it might take 14, 20 days here to take care of this guy's mission.
Well, that's true, but, you know, at the same time, maybe we'll get killed.
You
when
guys
we
are
walk
doing
out
this
the
with
door.
Salon there, right?
Right.
Salon laughs when you say it could take 14 or 20 days. He's like, no house war's ever lasted that long. The longest house war we've had is 7 days. And that's like an openly declared house war, not like a blood war where everything's done behind the scenes or in secret.
What's the craziest thing you've seen happen to somebody in a house war?
Probably die.
Okay, but like
He laughs.
how they die.
I've seen an entire family eliminated in a blink of an eye because they weren't prepared. Because they thought that they could challenge a house that actually had arcane users in its repertoire, and they had none.
Oh, yeah, that's usually the
Thorin
problem.
chuckles at this like, oh my.
You seem like a man who comes to bread, though.
I mean,
He like looks around, and you look around, and you can see within eye shot, out of the 15 or 20 personal guards, like a third of them are spellcasters.
yeah, he's pretty strong. Yeah.
Yeah, something tells me even if we weren't here, this war wouldn't last very long.
Yeah, he said he would likely win, whether we helped him or not. But, you know, it's always nice to be on the winning side of history. You know, you don't want to be the person that, you know, their inaction sided with the
I'm gonna
evil
look
guy.
past the lawn again and look at Dimble.
Mateo's like clearly putting on like a show.
I'm sorry, I was saying to him. What did you say?
Is that I'm just gonna look past the lawn?
He's
after
looking
you
at
said that?
Dimble for guidance.
I assume you're
If you'd like,
puppy eyes.
I can have breakfast brought out, or you know,
Fourth
a
breakfast?
brief repast brought out, and you can collectively discuss what you'd like to do.
That sounds like a good idea.
That'd be very
But
kind.
actually, why don't I'll just have one of the guards take you to the dining hall, and you can eat whatever is left from breakfast.
I'm not about leftovers, sure.
Well, I mean, it was prepared just before you arrived.
Get the continental.
It's what was served for me and my guests.
Oh yes. It is almost time for fourth breakfast. Okay. Fair enough. We halflings eat
I'm gonna
a
start
lot.
making you make obesity rolls. And every time you fail one, you have to subtract 1 dexterity.
His carrying capacity goes down by 5 pounds.
Yeah.
Because his
only
weight
at
went
40.
up.
It's only at 40.
So are we doing that now, or do we get to like...
Yeah. He'll escort you to
so
to
no
breakfast.
more griffins?
Well, after you discuss whether or not you're going to work for me.
This was just the trial.
Otherwise, this is actually just a waste of time.
That's the free trial.
That's right.
But I figured I would give you a taste of what you could be getting.
You're a very good businessman, Salon.
And I also generally offer my contractees performance-based bonuses as well.
Oh, nice.
A very good businessman.
There is no 5th breakfast.
I guess good thing I packed one.
He calls it pre-lunch.
Pre-lunch.
Third brunch.
So one of the guards steps out and like clears his throat and says, "If you follow me, I'll take you to the dining hall."
Right, we do.
Step forward and follow him.
Yep.
I follow.
All behind.
Thorn's
So-
probably towards the back because he was going to do a griffin next, and now he got pulled away.
Yeah. Look, and there's one griffin that's looking out. It's like.
So Salon nods to you and says, "I'll see you when you're finished. Just ask one of the house staff to bring you back to me, and we'll continue our discussions or our introductions, depending on which way you decide to go." And he starts walking deeper into the stables, and the guard escorts the rest of you out. And after a minute or two, you're back in the hall. And he takes you right to the dining hall, and it smells wonderful. Like foods that you guys have never actually had a lot of, like the upper class foods that are expensive or extravagant, are served. There are a lot of spices you can smell in the air. Some spices that some of you have never even smelled before. And the guard motions for you to sit down and to enjoy yourselves, and it's all like buffet style on the table in front of you. And they leave you alone in the room with the expensive cutlery and cups and dishes.
Must resist urge to pocket.
Do not steal from our
Say that
friends.
tall rogues.
I had to drop that in there just to see if
Yeah.
anybody was going to steal.
Oh no. Alright.
Wow. These look like they're pure silver.
They are.
Oh.
You hear
That's
from
very
a disembodied voice.
Yeah, right?
Very nice.
Yeah. But the alliance we have here is pure gold.
Oh, I'm not
Remember
saying I
that.
had steel. I'm just saying it's
No,
not.
he
just
said it was
complimenting.
silver.
I'm just complimenting his silverware.
Dimble's just plowing his plate up like it's the last good meal he's going to have before living on field rations for a week.
Okay. So this is free RP time for you guys. There's nobody else in the room but you. It's a fairly large room. It's like almost like banquet hall sized.
Really, I see working with him as an absolute win. We either, defeat a good tyrant, and
Defeat a bad tyrant.
well, I guess he's good at being bad. Is I guess what I'm getting at. He's we get like cool stuff.
Well, there's a question we'll have to ask Salon. He mentioned that he could win without us. Does that mean a Pyrrhic victory, or are we just dressings on top of a showmanship war?
I guess the real question is, does it matter?
Well,
It does matter, because if this is a showmanship war and we're just the fancy, shiny things, the toys he gets to play on the battlefield, then I would actually feel safer, because then that's more or less a guarantee that very few of his troops are going to go down. If this is the difference between a Pyrrhic victory and a normal victory, well then he's expecting a lot of his troops to go down. If this is just a fancy, hey, I want to show off my brand new toys, then survival is much higher than if we were tipping the scales.
that's a great
Well, I
question.
think in the grander scheme of things, it might be good if we do this, because if we do this and it's successful, then not only have we brought down this like bad guy, but the people around here will understand like more of Alkar's power, and there might not be as much fight back.
And maybe we could get a little upgrade. I kind of like look at my sword.
Based on our history in this place, I could see him using us in one of two ways. Either he wants the Sunwalkers to be a plan B and burn some shit, or he wants us to be the bait, because that's what we were at the party.
Yeah, and if we're the bait, you know what they say about the bait, right?
They die.
He usually gets eaten.
Yeah, usually.
Normally, but we have Thorin's book, so I think we'll be alright.
Also, like the
I
early
have to know if
bird,
that's what he
the
was expecting.
early bird gets the worm, but the early worm gets eaten. So yeah.
I wasn't going anywhere with that.
Yeah, that's right. Well, yeah, that's these are all good points. And I think to pick up on Truegar's suggestion, the interactions we've had so far at the behest of the salon have been very much about the show, right? So I wonder how important it is just for us to be visual and to be a new way of things.
Here's my thought on it. I think he's already got a battle plan drawn up for him to win. He just wants to show as much overwhelming force as possible to increase the likelihood to scare the rest of the families, so no one else was going to be willing to challenge him for power.
Yeah, if anyone else decides to, they're gonna get beaten down just like him.
And us helping Salon win would be beneficial to the Elkarian Empire because a lot of his values align with the Elkarian Empire. And if I'm mistaken, or if I'm not mistaken, all I know is that the Elkarian Empire more or less just wishes fealty, but they don't really mess with the politics otherwise.
They're as hands off as they can be.
That is 100% Truegar's experience.
Yeah, that's how it was in my place too, back where I used to live.
And so if Salon wishes to maintain power and grow his power, he can absolutely 100% do that within the, I don't want to say confines, but the confines of the Elkarian Empire. As long as he's anti-slavery and all these other values the Elkarian Empire holds, he'll pretty much be given free reign, and that's less the Elkarian Empire has to fight to get to the frontier.
That's well said.
Plus, if we're there, it could scare like other people into not messing with the Alcar.
That's right. That's right.
For selfish reason, a griffin will help me find my husband 5 times faster.
That is also true. I think the trouble with powerful folks is that they are either your friends.
Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Okay.
Let's be clear. I know it wasn't explicitly stated, but the Griffin offer is an all or nothing offer.
Yeah.
So the entire party has to agree to do it
Okay.
in order for everybody to get one if they bond.
Okay. Yeah. So, I think the trouble with powerful folks is that they are either your friends or they are your enemies.
You'd rather them be your friends.
Exactly. Because it's just a matter of time until someone gets a little too big for the britches and starts walking away you don't prefer. So,
Sounds like the cause is worth it, and
That's
the
because they're
reward is
tripping over
worth
their
it.
riches.
The reward is definitely worth it.
And it would suck if we declined this offer, came back from the desert, and Salon had won. We're now kind of sort of on his shit list.
I don't think he'd hold it against us if we didn't.
Oh, he might not.
Well, it wouldn't help us.
We
at all.
wouldn't be as much in
We
his
do.
favor as if we did.
That's
You
right.
definitely didn't get the favor that he would harbor hard feelings if you didn't help.
Yeah. Seems a stand-up guy so far.
But in the event that Salid wins,
Then we come back and get our heads cut off.
exactly.
Well, if we help and he wins, then we really get our heads cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why we help and have him not win.
But if I can backtrack us a little bit, I think the strongest argument I've heard so far for us continuing to the desert was that we cannot afford to wait. But I think it's clear now that we cannot afford to miss this opportunity we have here.
Yeah, that's a lot of gold on the line.
And
And
as
a
you
lot
said,
of lives on the line as well. We can't forget about that.
that's right.
I mean, the way I
What-
see it
what
is
was the
we're
goal?
ill-equipped to go into the desert, and if we do this, we could be so much more.
Oh,
better
Sam
equipped.
wasn't here, so let me fill you in. He basically said that if you don't help him, he'll fulfill his end of the bargain and give you the minimum things necessary to help you through the desert.
Yeah.
But if you help him, you'll get a war griffin,
Right.
And maybe
and
a
he will
performance
fund
bonus.
that war griffin's sustenance in perpetuity.
And bonus if we do good performance.
Perhaps.
Performance bonus is a bonus.
Yeah. So I guess Oglen's main argument has been we're too late to get whatever was happening in the desert, and Dimble's point has been like, well, there's still going to be stuff there that we can find, even if it's already happened.
So, I kind of joined the group a little late on this, but the whole thing in the desert, was there an expiration date that they were told, that you guys were told?
Was Brudall here for the shit in the sky?
I witnessed the shit in the sky. I know about it. I don't
Okay.
know about. I never met the wizard. I never any of
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Just
Thorin
making
never
sure.
met the wizard.
I think I showed up like a session
Same,
two
and
after
I
you
died
guys were at
to
the
him.
library.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thorin came in about the same time, so we never met the wizard.
Yep.
Like, what do we know about what we're walking into? Because exactly as Oglen said, there may not be a thing anymore.
I mean, moreover, if there still is a thing, then like waiting a week or two more isn't going to change that much because it's been there forever.
Yeah, I get
We're
it.
being told 7 days. That's what he's stating. This is going to go on at max.
And that sounds like an outlier too.
Everyone seems to be wanting to argue the points for doing this, and I guess I'm on the outlying voice of this. But let me just bring up something we've discussed very recently, is that we seem to have lost a lot of people getting sidetracked. And it seems like we turned right around from that discussion and are discussing again about getting sidetracked.
I think you have a fair point, but
Put the money.
yeah, I think you have a fair point, right? But I mean, this will help us get
Let's
to the
be
desert
honest,
even
if
quicker.
he's willing to give us war griffins, then the mission for us is obviously going to be dangerous in correlation to that prize.
Yeah,
Some of us very well will die trying to get this griffin.
definitely
Is
possible.
that's the cost we're really talking about. We're not talking about losing a few days or a week. We're talking about losing some of us sitting here at this table. Is that worth the war griffin to you?
You're asking Matteo.
I'm just,
I'm not going to answer that question.
Brew is going to look down and like not want to answer his real answer.
It could also be our subconscious wanting to get sidetracked because this mission in the desert we know is going to be tough.
Yeah. I think if I were only motivated to do this for griffins, then you would be right. And this would not be a worthy cause. It's very generous what the Salon has given us so far and what he plans to give us if we help him. But that is not what motivates me. And I hope deep down that's not what motivates any of us.
Oh yeah, totally not.
Ash, me and Oglen have obviously been very opposite opinions on this so far. You've been very quiet.
You haven't read it in my notes the whole time.
He's brooding.
What is your thoughts on this?
Writing another 4-page prayer.
I have a few issues with doing this. Half of them personal and half of them, not trusting this man. In terms of not trusting Salon, he's only been using us as props so far. In terms of the party.
But I don't know why you wouldn't trust him with that. He's been very open about that's what he wanted us to do and be used as. It's
But
not
going
being deceiving
going
about
forward, don't you see us, as Truegar said, as his toys?
that. Well, he very much does. But he's rewarding us very much as using us as toys.
That gets on to my second point. Him rewarding us. He's flashing these fancy things in his wealth in a way to get him to join his side when really, should we be doing this for rewards or for our morals?
Both.
I don't mean to be the kind of preachy type, but really, when it comes down to it, we are shirking our responsibilities to do this.
Oh, so you want the tyrant leader in charge? Is that what
So
you're saying?
I say, on my third reason, he hasn't proven himself to be as wise and powerful as he says he is. I mean, he's just a young man. He's just blossomed into manhood, actually. And really, can we trust a person that's been a boy his whole life until now?
That answer is unanswerable because we do not know the consequences, the material conditions on which he grew up in. But I can answer you the question you asked.
You know where he grew up.
Here
Yes, but
in Alcar.
I don't know the interaction with his parents. I don't
Did
know
he
the
grow up
interaction
here?
with them. Anyway,
Here in Alcar City.
I'm talking about Salon. We don't know the material conditions of which Salon grew up in.
We didn't grow up with him. We don't know how his childhood went.
The question you would ask Ash is this good for the mission? Primarily, no. Secondarily, helping out Karian Empire, yes. If we can make Lawrence Gate more receptive to the acceptance of the Alkarian Empire, Yahtzee.
Don't you think our involvement in this house
Let's see.
our involvement in this
I love
household
that
will
bar.
show half the population that agrees with Salib that the Alkarian Empire is here to kind of interfere and take what they've known. I mean, half of them will harbor this regret and hatred towards the Alcarian Empire. And when they do eventually take over Lauren State, there will be a rebellious population.
Well, doesn't that happen all the time?
Well,
Anytime an empire conquers another one.
If a man hates me because I took away his ability to enslave humans, I will happily have that person hate me.
I feel like this issue of the magic weave tearing in the desert has been our primary goal, and the last time we got sidetracked, like Dimble said, it's been nothing but trouble.
I mean,
last time we got sidetracked.
It's been like 3 weeks in game since that shit ended.
Yeah, that's how
And
it's
this
Last time we got sidetracked, we let a black dragon free.
I think
But
we took
this
like
time-
100-day
But the
hiatus.
weave appears to be fixed.
Let me ask you this. Instead of my reasons why not to do it, what are your reasons to do it?
That's a great
Boss
question.
as whip.
Worker fin.
Reasons
We
to do it. That's
beat
simple.
So
up
your
the
first
pirate.
reason is a materialistic reason.
Can't
Correct,
you
yeah.
guys talk to your god and ask him about the weaves in the sky?
The only higher
Gods
purpose.
don't like to interfere directly and stuff, so like.
That actually leads into my next point too. I don't feel comfortable serving a man that isn't part of the Alcarian pantheon or even the god himself.
I think you'd want to be.
What?
Unless I've been given a
Well,
I mean, you
Of
serve
anybody in
Dimble.
the city here, I would say he knows the most about Alcar and has the closest to being a belief in Alcar, spending time in the Alcarian city and studying there.
That's a good point. Why don't you, while you're discussing this, how are you guys sitting at the table? Like, are you
on
looking
the chairs,
around? Are you
on
just
the
looking
bed.
at each other?
Probably just looking at each other.
We're alone in the
looking
room.
around. He
Yeah.
likes the decor and
I
stuff.
can imagine it being a long rectangular table, and
Yeah.
we're all on one side, and we're all like, no, you shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck
Matteo can roll perception. At
I mean,
advantage.
Thorin doesn't like to be crowded, so if everyone is on one side, Thorin is on the other.
Alright. I'm the master of face. I got a 20 and a 1, so I'm going to keep the 1 because I got a 20 on advantage. 20 plus perception, 5. 25.
That was so confusing, but it's hilarious.
You said you're gonna
Yeah, no need to re-roll it.
It makes it sound like
Oh,
you're
no,
going
no,
to
I'm-
keep
Yeah,
it.
it made it
You're
sound
right.
like you were keeping the
Like you
one,
chose the
and I'm
one.
like, did you just give
Why?
a 20 and a 1 and choose the one?
the one.
No, I just don't need to re-roll it with lucky.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to
25.
make everybody get up and walk away. So,
Ooh, does Matteo have a patron now? Is that what's
Grr,
happening?
grr.
Is that what's
Why do I hear voices in my head?
It's
Hey,
your
welcome to the club.
I would say wouldn't be all on one side. We'd be like,
Yeah, I feel like we'd be sitting like this,
Spaced
honestly.
around.
Yeah, so it's a
Wow.
rectangular table, and we're kind of like a U shape around the rectangle. Like
Yeah.
2 here, 2 here, 2 here. That's sort of what I see.
Yeah.
But if I'm wrong, if
That's
anybody
good
has
with
a
me.
different interpretation.
But there's 8 of us, so
wherever
there'd
the
be-
most food was left, that's where Dimble sat down.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you have a good question there,
I
Ash.
was trying to make sure there's nothing.
Here's the thing, alright?
Yes, sir.
So it'd be
Bruce,
six,
it's
it's
like
3,
this, but
3,
you said where you
1,
could see
and then
either an
4
entrance
is
or
way
an
over
exit.
here.
I have to
Are
ask.
we good to continue arcane? Or-
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to ask. Is it really that bad if you like materialistic things? How bad is that? Really? I mean, really?
I mean,
It's not that
at
bad.
least for me, the reason I joined this was not for the gold or
Dimble
the treasure.
subconsciously puts his hands on his coin.
I
I don't think it's that bad.
mean, I'm not sure if you realize, but you are in an adventuring guild, right? Where the purpose is to literally make money.
yeah,
Is that the purpose, Dimble? Is this all just to make money?
well, mainly, you know, when we first started, it wasn't to serve Alcar, that's for sure. That didn't happen until after we reincarnated.
So you got sidetracked to serve Altar.
The main goal was to
So if the main
bring
goal is to
fame
make
to the
money, then we
goal,
should do this.
serve.
I think both Truegar and I have said it that we're not doing this just for the reward. We're doing this for the cause too.
I mean, yeah, the cause is nice, but the reward is also very
That's
nice.
They're
one
both.
of my
They're
points
both
as well.
worthwhile.
And if we can circle back to that briefly.
What has this man shown us besides freed house slaves? What is he
Besides him
Well,
and
the
the
only
tavern, they're the only people that haven't tried to kill us
Yeah, they're the only ones that respected, the short people. I mean, you wouldn't understand that, but
And not only
or
has he,
screw us over for money.
yeah.
So I mean, just because the whole population is hostile towards us, we should trust the one man that isn't hostile towards us?
Correct.
I mean,
Just
why
because
not?
we think he's trying to use us.
I mean, the odds are there. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
you can choose to not share this information, or
Okay.
you can share it.
Unless there's a good reason, in my opinion, that I will not join this war. I will not join this house war. I've left the life of mercenary work to be in this route to hopefully find a new avenue where I can hopefully settle down.
But this is a mercenary group.
I mean,
Not necessarily mercenaries like going out to war mercenaries, but as an adventuring group, like completing quests, doing things for people, earning coin.
We're not an assassin's guild. We are an exploratory and see what's out there guild.
We
which is
were
also to make
If we were an
given
exploratory to
missions
get out
by
there,
the
guild, we would
Alkarian
leave for the
Empire,
desert
but
now.
we're no means servants of the Alkarian Empire.
And I'm actually 100% with Dimble on this one. If you choose to purely wish to serve Alcar, you can go off and serve him on your own and do the missions upon which he wishes you to do. This is still a guild of exploratory and adventuring.
No. Let's be honest. Put it on the table. I've shared it with my fellow servants of Alcar here. That the last mission that he made clear to us was to go to the desert. We got sidetracked and moved around, and we haven't heard anything from him since. And we haven't heard anything why the sky stopped being ripped apart.
well,
My hope is that once we get to the desert, we'll be able to get back on track and figure out what the next step that he wants us to do.
my thing is maybe Alcar's always just watching over us a little bit, you know.
That's my point. I think we're exactly where we're supposed to be right now.
Yeah, that's what I would agree with that.
If
Yeah.
I recall, your second question was something worried about shirking our responsibilities, meaning that if we were to not go to the desert, that would be us not fulfilling our duty. Is that correct?
Not to bring up like bad memories or stuff like that, but when you were like, what?
I was waiting until you were done to respond.
Oh, but like when you were in the other world, like that was the time when like Alcar was all like, "Hey, you guys need to go get him," and so he hasn't really forced you guys to like do anything that would impede progress unless it was very necessary to do so. So if this was like super wrong, then he'd obviously like do something about it.
Let's just say this guy may have some of the same goals that we have.
So is that a correct characterization of your second point there?
I'm just finding it hard to place so much trust in this man. We've only known for less than a day or so.
Hey, how about that? And I pointed out.
Well, I tend to be.
I mean, you gotta
As much
trust some
about-
people sometimes. Otherwise, you're not gonna trust anyone anytime.
How about
and then
now?
You're gonna be
Do
alone.
you trust him now? Do you trust him now?
He's a
What-
man of Alcar.
Are you, like,
men of
pointing?
plenty religions
Yeah, I
that
like-
use religion to
Can
get
I roll
the
perception
point
to see what's
across.
pointing?
I mean, is your aversion to mercenary
Can everyone roll perception,
the
or-
main reason why you don't want
Yeah,
to do
anybody
it?
whose character noticed Matteo like pointing across the room
Shit,
and roll
I didn't
perception.
I got distracted.
Is your primary aversion to
13?
doing this job not wanting to be a mercenary?
I've
17.
killed too many innocent people protecting those of high power, and I'm tired of it.
Anybody who rolled, it wouldn't be terribly difficult to see if it was pointed out. So anybody who rolled 13 or better, you notice there's like a 6.5 to 7.5 inch effigy tucked back behind some decorations, and it's literal symbol of Alcar that is emblazoned on Oglen's armor.
Let's just say
Oglen
there's a
doesn't
bigger
see
plan
it, but
for
that's
Thorin.
hilarious. I love that Oglen doesn't see it.
Dimble goes, "Holy Alcar!"
And is that the only like? Is there?
It's the only thing. I mean, you can roll perception if now you're like specifically looking around the room
Yeah.
for other things.
Yeah, like not of Alcar, but like I want to make sure it's not like a collection of things from like gods or something like that.
No, that is the only thing that remotely resembles something relating a god that you were aware of on that table.
Okay,
So if there's a
19
question,
for that.
so if there's a question of trust, I don't think there really is one.
Yeah.
Well,
Dimble's going to leave the table and go over towards the statue
Okay.
and just take a look around, see if it's like a decoration or if it's actually been in use, like he's any disturbance and
Roll
dust or anything
perception.
like somewhere's. Would that be
Well,
Can I get your bottom on your
Well, you're looking to see if it's dusty or been disturbed, so that would definitely be perception, right?
or investigation?
Or investigation.
Either one.
No, actually, I'm sorry. No, yeah, you can use either. Well, are you moving things around as you're doing it? Because if you're moving things around, then it's investigation.
No, I just want to see if like there's.
Yeah, then it's
darkness
definitely
that's there,
perception.
Or if there's.
You can have perception at advantage.
Ah.
Holy shit, that better be a good roll.
No,
Yeah.
Well,
that was better than that one.
You can have advantage though. You can re-roll that die. It
So
jumped out.
I hear your concerns about shirking our duty, but let me not be misunderstood.
20 times.
if we go
It
to the
very
desert,
clearly looks
that would be sure.
like of all of the things here, that the effigy is the one that is most often handled or cleaned. Like you see some dust. Like it's very clear that somebody comes through and cleans things regularly. But of all of the things here, it looks like that thing is the cleanest.
Dimble comes back to the table and sits down.
Do you touch it?
I've changed my opinion. I think we should do it. And then
Do you touch it at all? The effigy?
Yeah, I would have picked it up.
Matteo.
Fondle the fuck out
Can I
of
see your
it.
character sheet?
You get a warm, you get a warm tingly.
Mateo's keen eye saves us again.
What is your maximum health? Holy shit. 123? That your maximum?
That's 123 plus the
16.
temporary, so 150 currently.
Okay.
Higher than the tanks? God
Wait,
damn.
we still have our two.
Well, yeah. You got like an 18 con.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I'm writing on your character sheet.
Dead.
Little.
No, I would just get the giant pink marker out for that.
Yep.
He touched the thing and
Oh,
he
this is your
died.
subterfuge roll.
Mateo looks at him. That's how it feels.
He's writing. He's
After he
erasing
grabbed the
player
thing
name
and
and
fucking
putting
brought
Brudall
it
in.
Let's see what you wrote before.
Scribble.
Yeah, you have a 5 intelligence now. Sorry about
no.
that. You got dumb shot by all the god power.
Are there like turkey legs or anything like that on this spread, by the way?
No, not gobbles.
I might have to give you this later. I'm having a hard time thinking of how to word it.
Okay.
Yeah, I might have to give this to you later.
So Dimble comes back to the table and says, I've changed my mind. I think we should do it. And unless anyone else has any argument that hasn't already been brought up.
Actually, let me write this because it may change what you roleplay.
Okay.
Let me just give it to you.
I'm supposed to write it the whole time of reasons why I don't like this guy and reasons why I personally don't want to do it.
That's why when you started like saying that stuff, I was like,
Are there any reasons upon which you would want to do this, Ash? Like, can you
The
think of
sweet
any-
ass griffin!
I didn't get to that point yet. I got talked to.
We get right away like in a heavy metal album cover.
I said I don't want to do it, Mom. God.
Go on.
Even, what about
That's the green. What's the reason?
I don't want to. It's just because I said so.
chicken nuggets? Go to McDonald's.
That's a perfectly reasonable. You just don't want to.
And
You're
I
an
just don't
adult.
want to hear it.
yeah, I agree.
Well, I'm sorry I can't hear you over the sound of all this freedom.
Take 5 million damage.
Has anyone here gone through Inwood recently?
Yes!
No, what's going on?
Oh
Yes!
my God.
How did I
biggest-
know instantly?
The
I'll
biggest
tell you.
We thought I'd
display
give you a souvenir.
Let's not be super specific though, okay?
Yeah, right.
of
Let's keep it
multitude of
super vague.
flags.
It's useless merchandise.
Propaganda.
For a second there, I thought you guys were going to make fun of the fact that there's like 2 or 3 roundabouts going on.
No!
That's ridiculous
Been
too.
going for a while.
Yeah.
Everyone just goes straight anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna pick you up a souvenir, though.
Oh, the place
Not
on
me!
The place on the side of the road?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's selling memorabilia from a time past.
This is not specific. I'll think of the super specific version of this that I want you to have. This is the vague. The DM's not sure how to word what he wants to convey version. That's what that is.
It's just 3 hearts with little smileys.
So is there like turkey legs or some other like type of meat?
It's more like sausages, like breakfast sausages and like slabs of bacon.
Okay.
Not really like bird parts. Can we please never make that sound again?
Yeah.
I guess Thorin's gonna get a bowl of sausages in.
Stuff as many in my gullet because it's going to be desert meat
Okay,
for
I
sure.
came up with reasons to do it, but there are double the reasons of not to do it than there are of to do it.
I think that Alcry wants us to help him.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I'm still skeptical.
So everyone watched as Dimble got up and walked over, and the couple of you that saw what he handled, and then they came back and
Fondled,
said,
you
I literally just said, we haven't heard from Alcar. Then came over, touched this thing, and came back and sat down and said, Alcar wants us to do it.
As soon as Dimble says that, Brew would light up with a smile.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's everyone going to do with that griffin?
Dimble, I think you're missing a big part as well.
Well, I need to
think
figure out a
that-
name for my new Griffin friend.
I think you're missing a big part.
friend.
My wallet also wants me to do this.
I would not recommend giving your Griffin a friend unless they are receptive.
I agree. This is awesome.
Or giving a name. I mean, I would not recommend giving your Griffin a name
I'll
unless
start itching.
How
they ask
cute.
for one.
How cute. How
Really
cute.
set in my ways.
I mean,
Is it Valkar though? Or
unless
is it
it's
some other
Sir
god
Beats-a-Lot, you might
interfering
like
with,
that.
you know?
Oh, it's Gargal.
Don't make me write that down as a reason not to trust this.
Righto, then we should probably see what our assignment would be first, because if he says, "Oh, go kill yourself,"
Let's
in
be
town
clear.
square, that's
You-
not going to happen.
I mean, I'll go kill yourself.
Dimble is like 99% certain that it was not something else talking to him or giving him this impression,
It was me.
right? Like Dimble's fairly certain that he knows where the feelings were coming from.
Oh, that's what.
I'm glad it's not a Belial situation.
I wish I had thought about that before I had come up with the FSG
A
idea.
Diablo 2 reference.
Diablo 3 reference, bitch.
Oh, I thought we were talking Stargate.
So he says that. Is this a new? But you know, this is a big mission, and I would think we should still vote on it. But I'm obviously going to be changing my vote and how I feel about it, and I think this is something Alcar does want us to do.
Did Dimple already explain why his change of heart came to?
No.
Okay.
No.
Then I'll ask my question.
Oglen's convinced.
No,
this
but
is-
everybody can roll perception
it's because of that.
because Ash wouldn't be looking down, writing things down, but Ben was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
Ben
I
Ben
wanna
may
be
have
more
missed
educated.
things, but Ash would notice.
17.
21.
20.
18.
Mine.
Okay. So I don't think anybody rolled low enough not to notice Dimble get up from the table and walk over and handle the little statue that Matteo pointed out, and his like whole facial expression changed once he was holding it, and then he put it back very carefully in the spot that it was at, and then he sat down, and it seemed like his entire outlook on this task was a 180,
Should-
and he's now 100% for it rather than not doing it.
I knew
I
I
would
was
probably
gonna
be
do
sitting
that.
next to Oglen, so I'd say to Dimple, should we go touch that too?
I mean, that's your decision, but
And it was warm to the touch when you touched it.
it's definitely not your side of the road trinket, but that's for sure.
Oh, I'm gonna touch it then.
Well, I'm going to touch it. well, I'm going to touch it with both hands.
Thor gets up and touches it.
All right.
Come on, let's all touch it
We
at
all
once, guys.
failed the side quest because we're fondling a statue.
Salon walks in. Can we,
Guys.
and he just like walks over and gingerly takes it out of somebody's hand. Ooh, can we not do that?
This is definitely how I'm picking it up.
But it's warm
Whole
to the
group
touch.
with their hands on it like, go.
Yay, money! He said there might be a performance bonus. Maybe I'll have to play him a song and tell him a story.
How well can you fondle a statue?
Well, this certainly confirms my conviction.
Do you guys actually go and touch the statue?
I want to touch the statue again.
Do you pick it up and it's cold to the touch? It doesn't
Yeah.
feel like anything.
Not holy enough.
It's already been used to convey its
Yeah.
message. So,
Well, what did it do for you? I mean, it's cold.
just be clear. It's not like somebody talked to you.
Right. It was an audible, it was just more of like a
It's like an
feeling.
impression, a feeling. Yeah.
It,
Cut a hole in your mask and just like put it in.
what? How did Ash put the statue down?
I think he would have just touched it. I don't think he would have picked it up.
Oh yeah, then it was definitely cold to the touch. I thought you were picking it up.
Hey guys, can we stop touching his stuff?
He never said not to touch his stuff.
Well, I mean, it's implied.
He said he was gonna touch his food.
Well, are you gonna go lay down in this bed next?
I mean, if he doesn't.
He might.
I mean, after you offer to paint him.
I mean, my mind is
Yeah.
pretty hard to change. He'd have to do a lot to get me on his side right now.
I don't want anything to do left.
Yeah, they're fucking around with the statue. I'm gonna get
What if
some
he?
Is there any
What if you let you
alcohol
paint
at
him? Will he be on the
I
side
said
then?
breakfast
Paint him?
meat.
Oh, I'm not a
Okay.
good painter.
It's like not very.
I would have to
alcohol.
get
It's
that guy I
very
seduced to
flavorful.
paint him.
Brew would pour himself some of the breakfast meat and be like, well, I'm glad we decided we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to vote. I think everyone's on board.
Wait,
Well,
can I just get a
almost.
Can I get a show of hands of who wants to do this house wall?
Yeah,
My
let's-
wallet?
Thorin raises his hands, and you see his hand is like he's holding a sausage that's missing a bite,
Brew is holding his drink.
and the other hand has a sausage in it too.
No, I said I had a bowl of sausage. I'm not eating these.
Oh, you're not eating them?
No.
He's saving them for a rainy day.
Stealing.
I think
No, I know what he's doing.
And his sausage saved his
I think that's our vote.
Ash would be like, wow, I'm the odd man out, huh? And or doesn't he raise his hands?
You sure he wouldn't try to convince them why he's right?
He already
He's
tried.
already tried.
He already
Has
tried to
A
know
lot
him.
of his points were actually really salient and well thought out.
But
He's
Griffin,
gonna half-ass this.
Yeah, he's missing one thing, Griffin.
I told you I'd do it.
He's gonna
I told you I'd get everybody hooked.
He's gonna be like that retail worker that really doesn't like his job and just does everything half-assed, like boxing stuff, like putting it up on the shelf. He's just
Upside
like,
down, backwards.
Oh, well, I hope he doesn't do the introduction to a Griffin half-assed.
Oh,
Say
this
what
is
up,
very-
Griffin?
Everything gets his head cut off
You
and
did this
down.
in like a drug dealer method. It was just like, here, have the first one on me.
First one's on me.
Can you tell that I managed businesses?
Well, then I said,
Hi, Griffin. Yes, would you like to speak to a manager? Hold on.
Please
well, then I
hold.
say we still finish our second breakfast and then make sure you wash your hands before we go back and meet the Griffin.
So in the middle of eating, like somebody comes out and they're like, "Oh, I didn't realize we had other people eating. Is there?" And they like look at the table. Is there anything missing that you'd like?
No, it's actually really darn good. Thank you for the spread. Are
Do you have
you
any
the head
pudding?
chef?
No, I just bring the food out from the kitchen.
Is there any like breakfast ale or anything?
There's a breakfast meat already like on the table in pitchers.
Nice.
It's not very alcoholic, but it's very flavorful.
I think because of Ash is still cynical, he'd be like, "Do you get paid to do this job?"
Like, is that exactly how he would ask it?
Yes, exactly how he would ask it.
So she like looks at him really oddly, like like one of those. Wait, what? Did you really just what? Well, kind of. I have a small cottage on the estate grounds, and my food and clothing are all provided for me if I show up to work, and then I get a small stipend to buy things that I want.
So yeah,
So I don't like get paid like every day, but I don't want for anything really.
Should we tip you? Is that something we're supposed to
Top servants.
No,
do? Okay.
What I think you need.
I don't want to be rude, but how much longer do you think you'll be? We have some house staff waiting to eat their breakfast as well.
Oh, very sorry, very sorry. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, we won't be long at all.
Well, no, I'm not rushing you, but I just want to make sure that.
But I am rushing them.
What will I say? The only thing we probably need is, can you bring out a hot finger bowl for us to wash our hands? We're just about done.
She like points over to like the corner, and there's like a wash basin right over there. She's like, "That's a magical wash basin. It's always got warm water in it."
Sounds good. Dimble walks over and washes his hand, finishing
And
up.
it is like the like perfectly warm water.
He's like finishing the wine while walking over there and just kind of sets it on the ledge that's nearby, leaves it there, and washes his hands.
You hear a sigh from the other end of the room.
Now I have to walk over there. Yeah, Oglen's following suit unless you all want to continue.
Yep,
Sorry,
wash my hands.
Yep.
Alright,
Line up.
I say, can I take one for the road as I open my ration tin?
A sausage?
Put food in there?
You wanna?
A berry.
You can
A
take what
single berry?
you can take what
berry.
you can take what you want. Money's not a problem for this family. Just not silverware. Some of you look like you might slip out with 1 or 2 pieces of silverware. Please leave it here. I really don't want to have to count it.
So they're discriminating against small people again.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
progressive this guy is. He
Yeah.
needs to vet his
Fir-
staff
First of all,
better.
how are some of you dressed?
Yeah. We look like
Some of you
thieves.
look like
pigs.
thieves.
Yeah.
Some of you are literally wearing dark colored clothing.
Dimble straight up.
Yes.
Like if you were to pick a class in D&D.
And there happen to be 3 at the table.
The way Matteo described that, I was reminded of that scene from Trading Places, the Eddie Murphy movie, where he just puts a salmon in his pocket. It's like the smoked salmon, no one's looking. Yeah, look, that's salmon.
Yeah.
She like looks at you and is like, yeah.
Thorin goes to wash his hands and then goes back and picks up the bowl of sausages.
She looks at Thorin and says, can you leave the bowl, please? That's expensive.
Do you have a cheaper bowl?
She like looks around. No.
Because... Wait, do
Are you gonna tell her what it's for?
Mince.
Yeah, we're trying...
You can go over and whisper to her if you want.
Okay, yeah. So I'll go over and I'll whisper her to her. And it's like, we're trying to befriend griffins, and I was hoping to bring an offering.
Nope, selfish.
So she looks down at the bowl. She says, "Oh, you don't want that."
No?
No, but come with me.
Okay.
And she
So
like
Thorin goes and puts the bowl...
she like energetically starts walking away into another room. Do you follow?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys watch as Thorin just dips out of the room without a word.
Now,
We're never gonna
see
see
Ash.
it.
That's how you do it.
That's the person that chased the granny.
And she leads you through the next room, which looks like a prep area, not a prep area, but an area where they, they like plate things and they put them together. And then she leads you into the kitchen, and through the kitchen into the butchery, and you are looking at like hogs hanging and sides of bison and cows. And she walks over and she just grabs this like slab of raw meat that weighs like 10 pounds, and she holds it out.
All right, I take this raw meat.
And she says, "This is what we feed them, and it's their favorite."
Thank you.
Probably she didn't hand him like a liver or something.
Yeah. Well, you said they were hogs hanging. You can imagine where my mind went.
She looks at Thorin. She says, "Do you know what that is?"
What is it? So that I can make
A big
tell.
piece of meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
And Thorin's like, it's...
You're holding her meat.
You ain't wrong.
She says, "It's hippogriff neck."
Oh.
They said, fuck the other guys so much, let's eat their stuff.
I'm training these to eat the enemy.
No, that's like the natural. Yeah, like
said it
wild.
last time.
Yeah.
These guys are hippogriffs, they're not griffins, I just eat their hippogriffs.
As long as you don't super insult one of them, they should be your best friend after that.
Thank you.
But be careful; they're really dangerous. I've seen them kill at least 3 people.
This month.
Today.
No, she doesn't say that.
Just yesterday.
And I heard that there was somebody who got bit earlier.
Yeah, that did happen. It wasn't me.
All right, well, everybody wants to come eat, so I'm gonna chase you out now.
Thank you. And Thorin, let's things. Yeah.
So she didn't just she gave you like paper to wrap it in as well.
Okay.
So lucky. I don't talk shit.
So what does Thorin do with this 10-pound block of meat? It's just gonna be really hard to hide it, right?
Yeah.
Hide it
No, like
behind his
Thorin's.
back.
I don't think Thorin would really try to hide it. He's not the one to try. I think.
That's what I imagine. Like Thorin just
Yes,
with a
that's what-
smile too,
Yeah.
like a huge
Oh, yeah.
ass smile.
Probably over the shoulder because he's a dwarf.
Yeah, 10 pounds is quite a bit.
So the people who were still waiting in there for Thorin to come back, you watch as Thorin comes through the door, and he's got this ridiculous smile on his face, and he's got a swagger now where he's literally wobbling back and forth, and he's carrying something wrapped in brown on his shoulder.
I've learned my lesson. I never ask him what that is.
Yeah.
It's not Jabari, so he didn't kill a child. Well, I'm ready to do the Griffin thing.
It's either the longest stalker celery for goat friend or something else.
What you got there, Thorin?
Oh, I was thinking about giving one of the Griffins some sausages, but I wanted to offer them something. It's because you're supposed to treat them really good to get them to bond with you. So I figured it might be a good idea.
I think you might attract all of them.
Wish I'd have thought of that. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, I mean,
Okay, so
it's
yeah,
still on
after-
you guys.
Yeah, no, after I'm done stuffing my face as much as my stomach can handle without having to make a constitution check, I stand up and say, hey guys, let's head on out.
Yeah, finish my.
Dimble's already waiting at the door
Yeah.
after washing his
Yeah, I already washed my hands.
Yeah, Thorin saw Sano vomit, so he had some deed, but not a lot.
So Dimble opens the door, and there's a chair on the other side of the hall, like 15 feet away. And the guard that escorted you there is sitting there, and he's waiting. And he stands up really quickly. He's like, "Oh, are you ready?"
We are. We want to go back to the stables or wherever.
When Dimble opens the door, like
So
Thorin's
honest.
gonna hurry.
No, he's still at the stable. He spends like the first 2 hours every day there. All right. Well, if everyone's ready, follow me, and I'll take you back out there.
March.
And you notice that no one in here, no one that you've passed walking in or out, have given you any like odd looks because of your height or made any comments.
He's short, get him.
Yeah, there's definitely been nothing like that. And he escorts you back
Go
out.
for a sip, you bastard.
He escorts you back out to the stable, and that's where we're gonna take our break.
Yes.
No, stop. No, don't stop.
We don't
The
have
MTA
to go
copy
to the
right
desert.
here.
Yes. Not yet.
Wait, you're not going to the desert?
I'm not. Can't make me, Gordon.
I mean, to be just
You know you can still spread it through your
just
eyes,
making
right?
sure. Isn't that like bag 14 out of 23?
Here,
Yeah,
go.
but
Wear your
just
chin
gotta keep
diapers
checking,
correctly.
you know? Because
Oh my God.
15 could be
Here's
different
the
than
amount of
14.
people wearing their mask correctly in West Virginia. Here's the amount of people wearing their mask correctly in Virginia. Here's the the level of people wearing their mask correctly in Maryland. I swear, every single person wearing a mask yesterday was like, "Yeah, I'm wearing a mask." Or the people that
They
weren't,
just
they'd be
walk
like,
around like this. Yeah, what's up?
they were outside like 10 inches away from each other, like, "Hey guys, what's up?" And then they get inside, they're like, "Time to mask up."
Time to mask up.
Most people don't realize that they actually inhale through their nose.
Or like if you clear your throat, there's still stuff that comes out of your nose.
I mean, at least they're not sneezing at you. So you guys get to the stable, and Salon asks. He looks at Dimble and says, "Well, it seems like you're actually the one in charge because everybody keeps looking to you. Have you decided what you're going to do?"
I think it'd be beneficial for both of us if we helped you and agreed to working for you and doing this for the War Griffins.
Well, just to be clear, there's no guarantee that you'll get.
For the chance at the War.
Okay, because I can't force them to work. with
Obviously.
you.
They've definitely shown that they have a mind of their own.
Ouch. That makes at least some of us.
All right. Well, I suppose we should move on with this then to see if the rest of you.
I think before we officially agree to anything, what do you think our task will be? You know. What's
Well,
next,
I
you
mean,
know?
an agreement has already been struck.
Yeah. Okay. Well then, after agreeing, what is our?
When we're in a place where things can't be overheard, we'll discuss that further.
Let's proceed with everybody figuring out which one, if they're going to bond with a griffin, and then we'll go in and discuss what our task is, because we'll see how many of us is left.
I had inspiration for that.
That was good. That was really good, actually. So we'll start with Brudall. You're just gonna do rolls unless you insist on arcane.
No, that's fine.
So I'm gonna need to know how you start this, right? They come out and they start circling. What does Brudall do?
Brudall would have went in. I'd be standing there, kind of almost like you've seen like a Haka video.
Yes.
I'd be like standing in like that preparation stance, and then once they get close enough, I would go straight into a bow.
Okay, so first is gonna be a performance roll.
Okay.
Do you need the halfling?
No, wouldn't work anyways. That's an 8.
I bow, but I face.
So
my
your
butt
bow is
towards him.
terrible.
Cool.
I need a dex save now.
you want to throw
Not
out
for
a dice?
free.
No. Yeah, switch back to my other
The
dice.
dice are doing it for free right now.
So just a dex roll is
Don't forget, Gordon, there's pirate points in the bank.
Don't use them on this.
7.
So you guys watch.
You have a +3 Griffin.
We're not going to do the role play, but I'm going to describe what you guys see, right? You guys watch as Brudall walks in, and he looks like he's been trying to be a hard ass in the beginning, and then as they start walking around, he goes to bow, but his bow is so quick and awkward that he actually face plants in the sand.
Oh my god.
A little top heavy there.
It's like his feet are more than shoulder width apart, and he goes to bow, and he looks like he's trying to flourish the bow, but he really just hits the ground.
Well, it was nice knowing him.
And he gets up, and you're pretty sure that his skin has taken on like a slightly red tint in his face. And he gets into the bow, and a couple of the griffins are on the edge. They make that really weird laughing sound. And 2 griffins decide to come close, so give me percentile.
You either get the sassy Griffin or the serious Griffin.
Oh my god. 26. Why can I roll perfect perceptions for all you guys?
Trying to do one thing for myself. Nope.
So the griffins walk around, and they get close enough that you can reach with your arm, and one stops directly in front of you and like puts its head down in your face and just like stares you down. So roll an intimidation check.
Show it who's boss.
3. Intimidation.
You want the duck dice?
That's 7.
You want the duck dice?
Sure.
You want the duck dice?
At this point.
So you're
Go off the
so you
side.
guys are pretty sure you see like parts of Brudall, like the muscles that you can see. You see like twitches, like anxiety twitches, like oh no, what's happening right
Oh
now?
my god, who's on the die?
So they do the dance for a little bit longer, and by this time there's only the one griffin walking around, and it stops right next to your face, similar to what one did to Truegar, and it opens its beak and snaps it a couple of times. So roll. Give me a wisdom save.
I'm just not feeling lucky.
If it's a 1.
You've already used it.
I have it like after
I don't
6
care.
seconds.
Every
Oh.
6 seconds.
I don't care. You've already used it. You used it for your character to still be alive.
What was that again?
Stupid one.
What was it for?
Halflings aren't allowed at my table anymore. You ruin all the good stuff.
I had to waste a beat on that one.
He ruins all the bad stuff.
You can re-roll
That's
that
your
one.
problem.
Yeah,
You get
it's
to
the
re-roll
it's
that
the
one.
halfling
He
die,
used
bro.
his
It's the halfling
his
die.
feet.
Trust
You
me.
re-roll.
It'll roll good. How
It
about
did
that?
not. It did not roll good.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it only works for me.
It's about the confidence of the roller rather
Yeah,
than the
yeah.
die itself.
Yeah.
What was the throw for?
Oh, wisdom.
Wisdom save.
Yeah, I only got +1 on that, so 6.
That's not bad.
We're too far away.
I just wanted to keep his hopes up.
So you guys are watching as Brudall is standing there, and you're pretty sure you see a wet spot form on his breeches. And you were terrified at this point. Like you were terrified
Wait,
because
for real?
Yeah, for real. and Matteo laughs and points, and the griffin shifts its focus straight to Matteo.
I lean over and Matteo, I'm like, the only reason I didn't pee myself because my bladder was empty.
I did down a shit ton of meat.
So the griffin like nudges you with a wing, and then holds the wing up next to you.
Alright, I will start to adjust to get on.
Okay. So you climb on the griffin with piss-soaked breeches.
I would have calmly like tried to brush it off like it wasn't anything.
It's on the inside?
No, I would have been rushing the outside like just an idiot. Just,
Okay. Just really sweaty thighs.
Sawdust off the floor.
Try to do it without people noticing.
Yeah.
So you guys watch as Brudall climbs on the griffin. And the griffin, like, if there was like, the face, the griffin, like, looks at him like, what do you do when the griffin, what would Brudall do when the griffin just looked at him like that?
I think Brudall would just try to like clear his throat. Ready.
Okay, so the griffin lifts off the ground, so now I need your strength check to remain. Should make you do it at a disadvantage because your crotch is slippery.
I mean, I will if you want.
Does
No, it's going to be hard enough anyway with the way you're rolling.
Does anyone know prestidigitation or whatever that's called? Oh,
Yeah.
well, I'm glad you do, but don't use
Just
it.
that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna use
You
it.
sure you said just that one to
I'm
get
gonna
it?
use an
Holy
inspiration.
shit.
I think he's too far away this time.
Yes,
for
you
me to-
can.
He said, I'm so low to Ember, I'm going to
You
kill
didn't tell
myself
me
when
the roll.
do
I
this.
saw the roll, so yes. You just now won for like the third time.
Wow. What are the odds?
Pick a dice.
1 in 20.
I'm not. I'm not.
This one hasn't been rolled today.
Well, the three
That's
rolls
the
are
dice
independent of one
That's
another,
the
so
one
you
that
can't
hasn't
actually
been
group
rolled.
them
What about the
together in a
panda
statistic.
1 in 8,000
I'm gonna roll one of his.
in a row.
Statistics fail when you try to do
I got an 11.
combined
Yeah.
in a row.
Well, it's like when
I
you're
mean, I
trying
took
to
like 3 years of statistics.
double
so.
sixes. It's a 1 in 36 chance. So asking if you could roll.
Well, that's rolling two
yeah.
At
two
the same
d6s
time.
at the same time.
Yeah.
But he's not rolling the
At this point,
d20s at the same time, so
Might
you
as
can't
well.
group them together.
Okay.
Because it's 3 independent rolls occurring rather than one roll with 3 outcomes.
Yeah.
Was it just a regular strength check?
Yeah.
19.
I like the other one better. Mate, how did you re-roll?
Who used it? I just used purple with my inspiration.
Damn, I forgot that's a roll again. So you managed to, Brudall manages to hold on, and the griffin gets into the air, and it's flying really smooth for a while, and it starts going in really wide circles, and then it just starts to stop flapping its wings, and looks at you, and it just starts falling out of the sky.
Does it just lag though?
No, it's just like locked eyes with you as you're both falling. Roll a wisdom save.
He can't piss himself more. Oh, maybe.
Nobody could start screaming like a little child running away from the closet monster.
9.
Yeah. So you guys watch as the griffin flies up, and it's like 2,000 or 3,000 feet up, and you just watch as it just like stops and starts falling. But there's not 2 spots. It's like everything is just falling, and you hear Brudall. "Ah!" And then the griffin decides to do a barrel roll while it's falling. So give me a strength check. I said I wasn't going to roleplay these, but I can't help it.
Strength check. That'd be 15.
And you fall off. But like it's not a down off, it's like a outward motion.
Okay.
And you're just falling away, and the griffin's still falling, and it's just seriously locked eyes with you. Like it's waiting for you to flinch or something.
Shit.
And you hear Brudall like cussing in like every language he knows as he's falling, and in between the words he's screaming. And then the griffin finally stops because you're like 500 feet from the ground, and this is the furthest that any of you have fallen who've done this, right? So like Brudall's like he can clearly make out each of you. Like he can't see your faces, but he can see each of you standing there.
Making out with me.
Well, Ash's griffin is gonna eat him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be the first time a character of mine's gotten eaten.
No, it wouldn't.
Well, let's continue the trend.
So, the griffin eventually catches you at like 200-300 feet from the ground, and then like softly like does a really wide circle down and lands in the center of the arena and touches down. So I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
As you die.
Watch this, of all the rolls he's made, this one will be the good one.
No, that's a 10.
Continue.
And he
this
climbs
way.
off the griffin's back and just like falls straight to his knees. Give me a con save, please.
At this point, I don't care. Let's try it.
You can't really do any worse than you're already doing.
Still on track.
Maybe. Do you want to switch seats?
7.
Jesus. Some of you are rolling really badly tonight. And you watch as he hits the floor, the arena, and he grabs his stomach and he just wrenches everything he just ate into the arena floor.
Oh my god, not again.
I have to stand there.
Then the griffin like nudges you into it.
That happened to me too.
And again, you hear that ridiculous laughter sound from the griffins around the edge of the room, the arena.
They're cackling at you.
Everybody do your best Griffin laugh.
And Salon laughs and he says, well,
That's terrifying.
oh, no! God, that just went up my spine and then ripped it out.
Now Richard has a wet spot on his trousers.
Trying to imagine what a bird
And
laughing
Salon
sounds
says, oh, well, it seems like Thea has chosen you.
Like, they don't like you.
T-H-E-I-A.
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 Brew will stumble out of the arena and wipe his face of puke and wipe his pants of piss, and then say to himself, but not too quiet because he's
It's
not very.
Brew.
Yeah, he's not very subtle. Nailed it.
Sure nailed something.
All right, so Salon looks and says, next. Or
Thorin.
actually, give me a moment and I'll have, we're making our way around the table. You're going to be last.
Gordon, can I say something real quick as Matteo?
Yeah.
As he walks out, I'm gonna say, I remember this one old story. It goes like there once was an old who pissed his pants, pissed his pants, pissed his pants. There once was an old who pissed his pants and his name was Brudall.
I still have puke on my
You
hands.
can punch
I'm
him
going
this one
to
time.
smack.
Dimble looks at Brew and goes, you can punch him this one time.
I still have puke on my hands. I'm gonna wipe it and then.
Roll attack.
Oh.
We are the best.
Hey, I roll good when I want to hurt you.
He did.
We did. What's your roll, buddy?
19.
Oh, that doesn't hit.
Plus his
modifier.
attack
Oh,
modifiers.
Damn.
So to hit.
So then it hits.
You hit. It doesn't. You hit, yeah.
You should have lucky go.
No, I can't.
So
look at
damage?
it. It's only in that one.
Oh, you don't have actual luck.
No, I have.
Since it's just your hand, it's just your strength modifier.
Ow.
No, it's literally just
Oh,
your strength modifier. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 1 plus your strength modifier.
Well, plus 4 on the strength.
So 5. You take 5 damage,
I
and
uncanny dodge, so I only take 2.
you can't uncanny dodge because you're using your loot and you were making an ass of yourself. And there are people all around you.
It was still funny though.
You take 5 damage and you're covered in vomit
Ew.
and piss.
Worth it.
There once was a halfling.
No.
Dimble turns back around. I was like, hey, man, I use one of those stalls to go change.
I think so too. And
Does nobody have prestidigitation?
No one's asked.
He was told not to use it, I would tell you.
Hey, you remember that time I told you not to use it? Right. Yeah, you make an exception, please.
Do you clean Matteo off?
You just gotta.
am I far enough away from him to hear?
No, you can hear all this.
Okay.
Yeah, you can hear it.
I think if you're gonna clean anything, you should clean me, not the guy who decided to sing.
But it was funny.
I mean, I've been in the kitchen before, and it's first in, first out, so I guess that puts Brew first.
What?
So yeah, I touch Brew on the hips and like clean it.
Touch him on the hips.
Roll,
though.
roll insight. No, you don't have to roll insight. Thorin doesn't actually want to dance with you. He just wants to clean you up. He cleans you up. You now look and smell as clean as you did before you puked.
So not very.
This is not very good stuff.
No, because everybody took showers
Yeah, we
and
took
or
baths.
baths before the party. So
true.
yeah.
No, Brew never said he used soap though.
Technically, none of you said you used soap.
Right.
Thorin said he did.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, Thorin was the only one who said he used soap
He used
because
all
he
the
knows
soap.
how my mind works.
When he was done, there was no soap left.
So Brudall is
It's
clean.
so
Is
useful.
Thorin going to clean up Matteo too? You don't have to.
Let me
I just want to know before. I
say
move.
this again. You don't have to.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
So, so yeah, Salon looks and he says, "Next, you're last. Sorry, because we're gonna actually do yours properly."
I guess I'll go.
So, give me your. So you walk in. How do you walk in? What do you do when you walk into the arena? We're gonna start there because that's one of the most important parts.
Probably just walk over, kind of like that virgin walk where your shoulders a little forward, and then I'd probably kneel down on one knee and then put my head down.
But he's not a virgin. Clorinda made sure of that.
No, like the virgin walk though, you know, like the picture where he's like,
Oh, yeah, like the Virgin versus Chad.
yeah, that
Yeah,
kinda
give me
walk.
performance at advantage.
Oh, yikes. 19.
Why are you saying yikes?
Yikes.
That's a good roll.
Saying yikes, I was surprised at how good
Yeah,
the
that's a
rolls
good
it
roll.
was.
Jeez.
Jinkies, indeed.
Yeah.
Zoinks.
So you dance for what feels like forever with the griffin, in the non-literal sense.
And then in a literal sense.
And then the griffin gets all up in your grill, like aggressively in your face. Roll intimidation as Ash attempts to return the aggressive stare.
Snarl at
I
him.
only
that
got a
net?
10.
Was it Nelly that said, "Let me see your grill"? Now let me see your what?
You rolled a 10.
Yeah.
Ash doesn't do a very good job, and the griffin just like pushes at him. So give me a strength check.
Oof. Check.
Mm-hmm.
And 8.
As the griffin pushes Ash over backwards.
I say as I land.
So Ash gets up and they stand there for a little bit longer, and then eventually, you're not sure how because Ash is an asshole. He's an ashhole.
But he's being quiet this time, so it doesn't come across that way.
Eventually, the griffin, holds its wing up for Ash to mount. And Ash gets on the griffin's back, and the griffin lifts off. Give me that strength check.
Another 10.
Ash falls on his ass in the middle of the arena. As the griffin lands and waits for Ash to get back on. And the sense of attitude from the griffin is almost exactly like the impatience that Ash portrays to others. And Ash makes it over there, and the griffin starts to walk as Ash is halfway on. Give me a dex save.
Roll to learn your lesson.
27.
Ash manages to get himself on the griffin's back as the griffin is in mid takeoff.
I'd say, sorry, it's my first time.
Because just stayed quiet. So the griffin flies up 50 feet and then immediately starts spinning quickly, barrel rolls. Give me a strength check at disadvantage.
It's because I said something, isn't it?
Yep.
Damn it. Said check.
Yep.
6.
As Ash 50 feet from the air falls into the arena. What is that? That is 5 d6s.
Yeah. I bet my stream would be like, rather than
You take 21 damage as you hit the arena floor, and the griffin lands and is straddling Ash, looking down face to face.
Oh man.
Oh, he's gonna die.
If we learned anything about all of our characters, is how we scream.
Justin's God damn it, we gotta go to that place again, don't we? And the griffin is just looking at Ash, that quizzical, the fuck's wrong with you look. And the griffin moves from over top of Ash and lifts its wing up again. Does Ash get going again? Cool. And the griffin lifts up. Ash manages to hold on a little longer this time, and then as the griffin's like flying nearly straight up, it starts doing barrel rolls again. Give me a strength check.
You got it.
How do I rolled 3 sevens? I'm gonna inspiration. Is it? Can I?
I thought this
It's 12 this time.
Maybe we shouldn't have taken this job. It seems like we're all just rolling like shit.
It's clear how reluctant I am, I guess.
It's funny because this is the dice are actually portraying Ash's feelings about this whole thing.
Very middle.
How much health do you have left?
Enough.
Do I even need to roll the dice
No.
to know how much damage you take falling 150 feet?
No, I could do it.
You can do it.
No, I'm joking.
I could do it.
There's no feasible way any of us could do it.
That's not true.
Yeah.
Technically, the rogues can do it.
What? Survive that?
Yeah, because uncanny dodge. Does it say attacks?
I think it says attacks.
Does it?
I would assume.
It's a D6 per
I don't
5
know if you
feet,
can
is
dodge
it?
the
10.
ground.
10 feet?
Yeah, I dodged the
You're
ground.
about to
If
hit
you
me like,
rolled
psych.
super horribly, that'd be 15 damage.
Yeah, it's possible. So 15
Oh,
times.
you won't die. I don't think.
15 d6s.
Yeah, 15.
That is an unsatisfied.
31.
No, it's more than that, but it's not a lot.
40.
You take.
So you watch as Ash falls from the sky and he lands again on his back, and you take 42 damage.
Oh my god, is he dead?
It's the Douglas Adams.
That's about right, because like
It is.
90 damage would be max damage. What's
Average
that?
would be like 40,
45, 46.
49.
It said 46, right?
3.5 is average on a d6.
Oh my god, I think he's dead, guys. That's a long fall.
So I need a con save.
To check if your back is broken.
15.
Why do you want your thumbs up? You have no idea what the DC
I'm
is.
just telling you that I rolled it.
It's not a 7.
I'm letting you know that I completed the roll.
Okay. Okay. So Ash hits the ground and you hear a and the griffin like slowly comes down and lands next to Ash and just like looks at Ash.
Alright, get back on.
Like the griffin doesn't even hold its wing up this time. Just like straight looks at Ash. Is Ash going to attempt to persevere and accomplish this task? Or is he going to give up?
Silently, he will try again.
Oh my god. You guys ever heard the definition of insanity?
I keep rolling 7s on my strength checks.
You want something to die? Or, like.
Next time
So
it's
you
gonna be
watch as
250.
Ash... How much health do you have left?
65 health.
Okay. That's enough to fall another 150 feet. So you watch as Ash slowly gets up, and the griffin waits there. And then as Ash approaches, the griffin lifts its wing. But even the griffin looks a little skeptical at this point. And Ash gets on, and the griffin goes to take off. But it's unlike any takeoff you've seen. The griffin, like, uses, like, a wagon that's nearby to, like, get up, and then up another on the roof, and then it jumps and flies. And it's very gentle in its ascent. Like, it's not even straight up. It's just, like, this really slow incline in a giant circle.
The griffin doesn't have to worry about me shooting it because I can barely stay on.
And you watch as they go up, as they're going up, the griffin keeps looking back. And you almost get the sense that it's to make sure Ash is still there.
Okay, he hasn't died yet.
And then when they're about 1,000 feet up,
He books it.
I have you right where I want you.
the griffin is still staring Ash down. And you hear that really weird laughter sound again as the griffin just like flips over. And I need a strength check.
21.
Ash holds on. Roll a d4 for me.
I'm gonna use the spiky one.
How many turrets?
2.
Your butt?
So, like, this feels like this is happening for minutes. That this griffin is just, like, gliding upside down. And the griffin flips upright and then immediately flips over again. Give me a strength check. I'm just trying to kill him.
Yes!
18. No, 19.
If
19.
only.
19.
100d6.
It's 3, not 2. It's 19.
Yeah, I guess it would be 100d6s, wouldn't it?
I think it actually maxes at 20.
At
but-
20.
Yeah, not
Well,
in my
that's
world.
stupid,
Not
yeah.
in my world.
Yeah.
You're falling 1,000 feet. You're not taking a max of 120.
Everybody knows you can never be higher off the ground than 200 feet.
Yeah, gravity never works.
That's
No, I
just
think that
physics.
has to do with the maximum terminal velocity of falling.
So
Yeah.
this griffin tries for what feels like forever to keep spinning Ash off, and Ash just is so terrified of falling off at this point that he is literally just hugging this griffin and squeezing as tightly as he can.
Fall off once.
I promise I won't shoot you in the head.
Shame on me.
Fall off twice.
Fall off twice.
Also shame on
And
me.
Shame on
Ash,
me again.
roll perception.
Fool me won't get fooled.
Ooh,
again.
28.
Ash counts each time that this griffin does a barrel roll to try to get him off, and it's like 17 times. And Ash is just straight holding on. Like at this point, Ash is holding so tightly he can't even feel his fingers anymore. And it seems like the griffin finally gives up and then just starts descending back to the ground and lands in the middle of the yard and stares down Ash. And Ash goes to get off, and I'm going to need... Well, I've never actually done this, but it's going to be a thing. I'm going to need you to roll 3 d20s and give me the lowest number.
He's got triple disadvantage.
6.
Ash steps off and immediately falls.
16.
And I'm going to need that con save at disadvantage because you held on so tightly.
I've rolled this number, the same roll. Con, you said?
Mm-hmm.
Only a 5.
And as his knees hit the ground, he leans over and retches in the arena. Just a few feet from where Brudall did.
And Tim
Wow.
goes, well, maybe we should have finished this first before you.
And Salon from the edge says, "Oh, are you all sure that you're suited for flight?"
While he's saying this, I'd probably take out my nearly endless flask and just start chugging it because I want to get the taste out of my mouth.
No.
Um,
It's going to be vomit backwash.
It was
in
a
our
con
magic
save
water.
of 5. You think I like the taste of puke enough to shut my mouth?
So you
Don't
use
you have
the
a normal
flask.
canteen though?
Oh, I didn't know. I thought I replaced my water skin with it.
no, you would still have your water skin.
No,
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't,
I've used
but-
that one.
Like you wouldn't be able to refill it on the road, but you still have it.
No, then I'll use that one.
Okay. I'll allow you to retcon that usage.
I won't.
I was about to actually penalize him like 2 days worth of water.
Yeah.
And Salon's like, well, I guess Dreamfeather has taken a liking to you.
Didn't you cheat in a speedrun?
What?
This is some popular YouTuber
Oh, I
that's
didn't
accused
know, I
of
didn't know.
cheating on a speedrun named
Oh,
Dream.
the dream, yeah.
Yeah.
Exit the arena as quick as possible, but not like try to rush out.
As quickly as possible, but
So
not
as Dreamfeather walks to the edge, it's like she stops at the edge, and it's almost like some of the griffins are conferring with one another in like the way that they're moving around, and then they all go back to their own places. And then Salon says, "Well, that's 5 of you. Only 3 left." And he looks at Oglen and Dimble and Thorin and says, "Well, I guess if we're gonna do it, why don't you go in there? Because
All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. And
yeah, he's gonna need it. I don't. I mean, just a heads up. Griffins aren't overly fond of dwarves. At least these griffins aren't overly fond of dwarves.
And
there'll be a good chance for me to change their minds.
Oglen, you might want to take your gloves off because it makes holding on even harder.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Hey, Oglen, just remember, hearts and minds. But
That's right.
Griffin.
And
hearts
feathers.
Minds, yeah, and feathers.
And so
Salon laughs. What?
So Oglen climbs in with a newfound reassurance, having someone cross that effigy. He's feeling very good about what we're doing now.
Okay.
So making his way into the sunshine, seen this happen 4 or 5 times now, so he's a little more calm than he was
So
the
he's
first
prepared to vomit.
guy. He's like, all right.
And you
Enjoy.
watch as he walks in, and he like skirts between the puddles.
Yeah. I was like, yep. He had his eyes closed while he was enjoying the sunshine. He's like, oh, that's right. I can smell that.
Oh, yeah, that was there.
Maybe keep my eyes open.
Really screwed these servants.
Just move to a space far enough away that the stink of the vomit's not there, and I think Oglen would probably, being pretty short already, just sort of stand in the sunshine, enjoying knowing that he's doing what he's supposed to be doing, trying to keep any images of being circled like prey out of his mind as much as he can. But he's just waiting and watching for the griffins to approach.
Roll percentile.
Oh, that's 95.
Wow, roll a d20.
The griffin just licks you and goes back to its pen.
I got a 10 on the d20.
So you guys watch as a large number of griffins kind of shuffle around the edge of the arena. And a quick count tells you it's around 10 of them.
Damn, this was impressive. They're not just a snack. Yeah, that's what I'm worried about.
And about half of them actually look like they're in like actual stalking mode, like rather than like the dance. So when Oglen notices that all of these griffins, and it's about 10, start to enter this field, what does he do?
So he opens his eyes from enjoying the sunshine and like, So he tries to steel himself against this, and I guess there's none that have approached him yet. They're still circling. So
I mean, they're like 10 to 15 feet away,
Okay.
maybe 20 feet away.
So you could totally reach them with burning interdiction.
So he's like, so
You could, but you probably shouldn't.
yeah, that's right. So he's like a senatorial candidate making his way to the stage. How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Nice to see you. Bowing to each one that he can as he turns a little bit. You know, not quick and rush, but as they meet his eye line, quick bow. Meet his eye line. Quick
Roll
bow.
performance. Or roll intimidation and then performance.
Okay. The red one will be intimidation.
Okay.
Because it's red and scary. So it's a 14 on the intimidation and a 15 on the performance.
Okay. So a couple of the griffins immediately go back into the crowd around the edge of the arena as the rest of them continue walking. They slowly get close enough so that every now and then one of them's coming within arm's reach in front of you.
Okay.
And just like sniffing at you or poking at you.
And Oglen does as he's seen, just being very non-confrontational, keeping his hands down. Small bow.
Okay. Roll performance. No, I'm sorry. It would be a charisma check.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a charisma check.
Charisma check, that's a 22.
Pretty good.
So one of the griffins that stops in front of you seems to pay special interest, and the rest kind of walk away. And it does what a lot of the others have done, and it gets like right up in your face, like uncomfortably close. Like you could have the Rona, and I'm not wearing a mask close, kind of close. And how does Oglen feel about this invasion of space?
I think if there had been more than one, he would be terrified. But it's just the one, and so he's pretty calm. He knows that he needs to do this. So he's just gonna, quick nod, bow, and then wait to see what the griffin does.
Okay. Does he remain bowing, or does he stand up after the bow?
I'd say that he would bow at first, and then look up, and so like, okay, am I supposed to? Okay, still bow.
Okay. Everybody wants to know what it was. Look at everybody. Look at it.
Been rolling spawn dive for so long.
I really wanted to win that one. So, the griffin in front of you, like, snatches at your face with the tip of its beak. So I'm going to need a, we're going to call it, it's not really a saving throw so much as a check, because it's not going at your whole body. Yeah, we can call it a save, a dex save.
Dex save. Ooh, not great. That's like a 12. Yeah.
And you watch as the griffin scrapes its beak across the outside right edge of Oglen's face. And from where you guys are standing, this looks like an aggressive scrape, not like the gentle ones that Matteo and Truegar got, but this one looks wider and maybe a little deeper. And then the griffin waits to see Oglen's reaction.
You know, there's a quick flash that the audience sees of like some large fiendish monster cutting Oglen across the face in a similar way. Quick exhale through the nostrils, and then goes back to bowing as much as he can. But his fists definitely clench a little bit.
Can I see your character sheet? Can I see your character sheet?
Dimble becomes Shadow Dimble, and you must fight him to get a griffin.
God, I wish I'd have killed your character.
You can kill Ash, but you can't kill this brain.
I'm gonna. There's not really anything that fits. So I'm gonna call it a charisma save.
Okay.
Check. Charisma check. You never even save.
Oof.
Actually,
Not
you could call it persuasion.
Persuasion. Okay. So that's a mod 16, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and use that inspiration though. If that's cool with you.
Technically, you already told me the result.
Oh, that's right. Can I roll with advantage?
Yes.
Quick, somebody give me a thing. All right, that's much better. 28 on persuasion.
So the griffin, you watch as the griffin is like inches from Oglen's face after seemingly attacking him, and then the griffin like walks around Oglen one more time and stops at Oglen's right hip and holds its wing up.
And
it lowers itself just a little bit for Oglen.
yeah, I smile and quick moment to feel the sunshine, and then climbs up on the griffin there. Like, okay, all I gotta do is hold on.
And that's what happens. The griffin doesn't even wait for Oglen to be fully seated and jumps into the air. So I'm going to need a strength check at disadvantage.
Strength check disadvantage.
That's what you get for stopping to enjoy the sunshine.
Yeah, that's like.
Are you cold?
A little. Only a 13 on that.
Oglen slips off into the. And Salon looks at the rest of you and says, "Yeah. I mean, I could have warned you that the takeoffs are a little rough until you get used to them, but it's much more entertaining this way."
I banish Oglen.
So the griffin like lands back and waits for Oglen. It doesn't even like approach Oglen. It just waits for Oglen to get up and remount. Does Oglen remount?
Yeah. As he walks over, he's like, "Just as funny as the other times, right?" It's just
Some of the people watching laugh.
And then he climbs back up on.
I'm sure Oglen is like red.
Yeah, it's just like, oh man.
Oh, please laugh with me.
I was gonna be the only one.
So the griffin waits just a second longer until it seems like Oglen's maybe firmly seated.
Okay.
And then it takes off again. And this one flies straight up for what feels like minutes. And this one goes so far up that you guys actually lose sight of the dot. And you're just like flying up there in the sun for a while.
Just that great feeling of being free and yet like terrified that you could roll off and die.
But think about how close to the sun you are.
That's right.
And the griffin like looks back at you.
Yeah, it's still millions of miles
Right.
away.
Roll insight.
Inside.
It's gonna be a disadvantage because it is an animal that you've never interacted with before.
So inside is 23.
How the hell did you roll a 23 on insight with disadvantage?
I rolled an 18 and a 12 on the dice, and I got
Stupid dice.
a plus 11.
Why can't you roll like
Insight.
Andrew was rolling? Or Skylar was rolling. You get the sense that this griffin is about to royally screw
Yeah.
with you.
Yeah. All right. It's like now I heard those screams before, so I know. It's just like total grip. I used to ride rodeos, you know. No, I didn't.
You just
That
lied.
was Texas. Not dwarves. It's the wrong lore.
So the griffin looks at you, and you are 100% sure that the griffin understood what you said. And you feel the muscles underneath of you tense, and the griffin just starts bucking like a bronco at a rodeo in the air. So I'm going to need a strength check, and then a d4.
All right. Strength check. Oh, not great. That's a 2 on the dice.
Oh, then I don't even need the d4.
All right, boom.
I don't think.
Probably. You want me to roll it? Because
It was a 2, but I need to know what
mod
the...
7.
Okay, yeah, don't even roll
Okay.
the d4.
Okay.
And Oglen is so confident that he's ready for the barrel roll that he's not even thinking about other things. And this griffin just starts yanking its body everywhere in the air. And Oglen just goes... Does Oglen scream on the way down?
Oh, certainly. Yes, definitely.
And Oglen is watching, and the griffin is keeping pace with you as you're falling. It's like 10 feet away, just going with you.
But you're right there. I'm swimming to you.
Roll perception at disadvantage.
I know you can hear me. That's an 8 mod.
You hear a very faint laugh coming from the griffin. And you guys watch as like this two specks that are side by side appear to your eyes out of nowhere, and then they slowly are just falling and falling and falling. And then around the height, you know, of around 1,000 feet, the griffin catches Oglen. Or it appears to like it's going to catch Oglen, but really just flies right under him to the other side. So close that Oglen could, with just like an extra inch of reach, could have reached out and grabbed.
Now, my arms is not as long as these other folks. You have to come in a little closer.
And you're pretty sure that this griffin is toying with Oglen at this point.
Oh, no.
And you hear Salon, like ask, you're not going to hold it against me if he doesn't get caught, right?
Well, he is your most public weapon that people in the city recognize.
Well, I can't get up there and catch him.
I'm just saying it would not be.
And the whole time, Oglen's falling.
I'm just saying it would not be advantageous to your situation if something were to happen to him.
Also, we can't get his soul back a second time.
So you watch as the griffin like flies around Oglen, like it's literally just circling Oglen as he's falling.
I'm swimming to you.
And you're pretty sure that Oglen is like trying to spin his body around with the griffin.
No, I'll come this way.
And then when they're about 100 feet up, the griffin like flies into Oglen and knocks him at an angle. And you watch as Oglen just sails over your heads into the pond.
Oh, that's still gonna hurt.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt.
Okay. I guess.
Less than
no.
the floor.
Oglen's ready.
Not by much.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm not gonna burn an interdiction onto this griffin. Catch it on fire. That would be.
I'd like you to roll to see if you can be a badass and burning interdiction to the ground.
Would that preserve the momentum? Like,
No.
no.
It's
It
a
would stop the
teleport. It would
momentum?
stop the
Oh,
momentum.
sweet. Then I'd love to do that.
You'd love to attempt.
I'd love to
do
attempt
it.
to
So I'm
do
going to
that.
need a few rolls first.
All right.
First, I'm going to need a percentile roll to see if Oglen would even think of this.
Percentile. Yeah, he's busy swimming right now. As all good dwarfs in the sky have been known to
Sky
do.
dwarfs.
41.
Okay, it's higher than a 25.
Mountains no longer. The sky is my home.
And then I'm going to need,
Sky dwarfs are the best at swimming.
we'll call it intelligence to see if Oglen would even know if he could safely do this.
Since this is a move that I would call badass, I'm going to use my badass dice that Gordon got me. All right. Here we go. General badassery. Oh, that's a 10 plus 2 is 12.
What's Oglen's wisdom? 14?
Wisdom is 17. Intelligence is 14. But I had added my intelligence.
Oh, yeah, it was your intelligence.
Okay.
So my apologies. Okay. So Oglen's smart enough to do it. Does Oglen have the appropriate...
He might teleport into a place that's like, you know, a pile of poop or something. Because it's like, well, quick! Right through the window of the stable and then...
I'm assuming that if Oglen had the wherewithal to do this, he would attempt to burning interdiction where he couldn't injure something or anyone.
Right, ideally, he
because
doesn't want to
of
hurt anybody.
Poop it is.
It's a poop.
I'm rolling this one for you. I apologize.
It's all right.
This die is going to be rolled for you. I'm going to roll a digital die, though.
Ba-ba-bum.
What did you do?
You should probably roll the die yourself.
Okay.
Still, I don't want to be responsible for that.
It's still part of the general badassery. So that's a 13. And am I adding things?
No.
Okay, 13.
You just needed to beat a 10, and I did not either of the
Alright.
3 times that I rolled.
Can always count on the badasses.
So you guys watch as like Oglen's like 40 feet from hitting the lake, and you're like, oh! And you watch as Oglen disappears in a burst of flame, and then reappears on the edge of the lake.
Killing dozens of carp.
Is he alright?
And as he like reappears, like you watch as the fires just expand out from him, and you all intently know that he's just burning interdictions like a badass out of a big fall.
And
Is he
looking
alright?
up at the griffin. Was it good for you?
And the griffin lands, and the griffin genuinely looks disappointed.
Like, damn. A respectful bow to the griffin. And
It's been a long walk home.
yeah, Oglen makes his way back to the group, I guess.
This is Oglen in full plate mail once he's tamed.
The irony is the name of this griffin is the irony.
The irony.
Yeah. So Salon looks at, he shouts over at Oglen. Ah, so I see Sunwing likes you.
Ah, is that what it does? Wow.
Yeah. And as you walk closer, he lowers his voice and he says, "Yeah, Sunwing is incapable of being serious."
Oh.
And the griffin is literally walking slowly with Oglen, laughing.
It's just like
Just
walking very silly.
that weird laugh sound that they're doing.
To the
Yeah.
side.
The one you don't want me to do.
Yes, please don't.
that was terrifying.
I can imagine being just like chee 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 chee.
Well, she'll add a nice positive energy to the team.
Sunwing is advantage.
Oh, Sunwing's in.
The line was like saying.
Oh no, my apologies. Sunwing is a female.
Okay.
Let these griffins have our personalities. Ashes was stubborn. Oglen's had some southern grit.
They can probably still hear you.
Sano.
bro.
Sano's tried to eat him. Play with his fingers.
What?
Yeah, you know what? I didn't notice that before, but I think you're onto something there.
Actually, it's all random. Like which ones you actually end up with was random. I made you roll dice at the beginning that determined who you got.
I remember you having us do that. But either way, it does seem like it's playing out that way.
It does actually. It's unfortunate for me.
I think you dropped something.
Don't worry about it.
You got it.
Where is it? Right there. That's not even on my side.
Whose was it?
Oh, Jeremy.
Okay.
So Salon says, "Well, I mean that's 6 of you down," and he looks at Dimble and says, "I guess you're next,
I guess so.
fearless leader."
Dimble drops his pack. Slowly walks to the center of the ring.
Were we all doing this with backpacks? Son of a bitch.
You never said you weren't wearing it.
No.
Once he's in the center, he pulls off his cloak, which most of you have ever seen him without. Lays it down, lays his longsword down on it, and pulls out all of his daggers and arranges them neatly on top of his
And
sword.
it reveals that Dimble
Is this to serve a purpose? What purpose are you attempting to?
For Dimble, this is like one parlay between pirates. This is kind of a ritual that he's seen before, and he goes waiting when one gets closer to kind of kneel like this with arms out.
Okay, so
Show
first I have to roll to see
Okay.
how they interpret them, because I hadn't considered that. Like, do they even know what this symbolism is?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Look at all the knives!
Yeah, you be seeing a griffin with an eye.
Is this
It disarmed itself
like
by
showing us?
making
Like, they
ways
could
that
be
you
around
try
the
to
edge. You'd
kill
be
us?
like, "Is this bitch showing us what he's gonna stab us with?"
You attract the most goat-like griffin. He loves eating metal.
Yeah, I used to be a
Okay.
pirate and may I the life.
Purple was
One-eyed
higher than
griffin.
blue, so at least
Arr.
some of them understand the
One of
symbolism.
the griffins picks up a dagger.
Roll
tries to-
me percentile.
Arm.
Yeah, we start with percentile first.
This is what all the pirate points get us.
You got this, Dimble.
It's a pirate griffin.
89.
Roll a d20.
Arr. Got one eye.
Oh wow. Is that the number of griffins?
Yeah.
It's like son of a bitch.
So you guys watch as like a bunch of griffins start to step out, but then a handful step out even further, and it seems like they intimidate the others back into the groups. And Dimble is now looking at like 6 or 7 griffins that are now walking the edge of the arena. And one of them, like, does like a directed spiral around the arena. It gets closer as it goes around, and it stops right in front of the weapons that Dimble has presented. Is this when Dimble bows?
Dimble bows and he holds his arms out like this and goes to bow down and lowers his head but doesn't lower his eyes.
Okay.
So
So you're you're keeping eye contact and
keeping
bowing.
eye contact, lower my head like this, revealing that don't have any weapons, but I'm not trusting you enough not to. Kind of how the pirate code
Okay.
is, but I'm still watching.
Roll
him.
performance at advantage.
I was a pirate.
Pirate.
15. No, it's free.
Use your pirate point.
Pirate points.
What did I just do? 1 die?
Yeah. Actually, if you use inspiration to do the entire reroll, it would be both dying because you rolled at advantage.
That's good to know in the future.
Yeah,
18.
I agree.
So Dimble bows, and this griffin like bows in return. Again, it hasn't broken eye contact with Dimble. Almost like it's mirroring what Dimble's doing. And then the griffin takes its talon and like flicks away one of the daggers off of the cloth. And then looks at Dimble.
He just clicks it, he doesn't do other than that.
No, like he just like flicking it away, and it like this is like knocked like 10 or 15 feet away into the arena.
Is this your favorite dagger? Is this your...
As it clangs against
Dimble
the
kind
sound.
of cocks his head a little bit, but it doesn't make any other movement.
So the dagger that was next to that dagger, it flicks it away as well.
Like a cat knocking all the things
Do you care about this one? How about this one? Is
Dimble
that
just
one?
watches. At any point would Dimble like react to the? So it knocks all of the daggers away, and then the only thing that's left on the cloth is Dimble's longsword.
After the last dagger's knocked away, he's going to slowly move forward and move his cloth over to wrap the longsword up.
Okay. Roll sleight of hand.
Oh, that's a good one to roll.
His best.
It's like his best roll.
Me too. That's not
20.
I shouldn't have drank my drink so fast. 20. So you watch as Dimble waits patiently as this griffin is just like knocking his daggers one side and the other side, and all that's left that you can see on this fabric is the long sword. And Dimble wraps it, and the griffin goes to plant its talon like on the sword to push it to the ground, but Dimble moves it out of the way just in time. And the griffin just like cocks its head right in Dimble's face, like forehead to forehead. How does Dimble feel after watching Matteo and Truegar and Sano and Oglen all be assaulted?
A little intimidated, knowing might get bit pretty soon, but
Roll wisdom save.
no, it might.
Save
I
that.
might have to homebrew some skills.
seal some bruise.
22.
So Dimble's feeling a little apprehensive, but he's not really afraid right now. Like he's definitely feeling like, okay, this could be dangerous. This could be really bad. And after like a full minute, which feels like an eternity to Dimble, of this griffin just like in his face, the griffin steps back and bows very deeply while maintaining eye contact, and then stands up and then walks around behind Dimble. Dimble's still bowing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make me a dexterity check. Actually, this be a dexterity check. It's behind you, so you can't see. Yeah, actually, you don't get to roll anything for this. I don't apologize for what's about to happen. And you guys watch as this griffin walks around behind Dimble and picks Dimble up by his pants and flies.
Oh,
Would you?
So Dimble is bowing 1 minute, and then the next, the ground is falling away from him. How does he react to that?
Obviously, I'm gonna
Become a monster.
not hold on to the cloak and sword and everything.
So you watch as the sword and his cloak fall to the arena floor.
Anyway, figured out I get an ass.
Roll charisma check.
14.
Okay. So this griffin flies up really high with Dimble just hanging from its beak, and it does all the things it did that the other griffins did with the others, like barrel rolls, corkscrews. And the entire time it's firmly holding Dimble in its beak. And after a few minutes, it comes down and it flies over the lake, and it just drops Dimble in the lake from like 20 feet up. You take 1 damage from hitting the water. And Salon walks.
Uncanny dodge.
Well, it cuts it in half, and then you just round up. So. And you hit the splash, and you hear as you come up and you take a breath, the griffin's circling, and you hear the laughter. And it goes and lands, and you walk out, and it walks next to you, and you get back over to the group in Salon, and Salon says, "Well, that's not really how you're supposed to ride a griffin."
No, I guess I'll have to have my first thrill ride some other time.
And the griffin rejoins the group, and then Salon looks at Thorin and says, "Well, you're the last." And
Then we'll gather his things and then.
And he says, "Oh, and you should say hi to Astreus properly." Astreus, yep. Spell it how you think it sounds.
Thank you for the ride, Astreus. Hopefully next time I'll get to ride on your back instead of my britches.
And just Astreus is a male. I don't know if you care for your notes or not. I know some people do.
Care for your mouth. Never heard of it.
we need it for the fan art, Gordon. Are there going to be a bunch of griffin balls just dangling while we're flying around?
What? You should smack yourself.
We know that's not how birds work.
It's a legitimate question. Do birds
Wait,
have
but
ball
are they mammals?
This group should never roll through.
No, they definitely got
I
lion
thought we were
balls.
playing D&D. I didn't think we were working out the anatomy of its monsters.
I'm a biologist.
We
Interests me.
know that balls interest you, Skylar.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know.
Well, that's a different kind of
Not as
fantasy
much
role. Gotcha.
Oh, it's see, now I'm fucking wondering. I hate you. God damn it. Somebody said it out loud. Now I want to fucking know.
Gordon's gonna get home and go, damn it.
Incognito mode.
Nah, I don't care if the
What do
FBI
you
knows.
think?
They're going to be
You
like,
think
this
those-
guy's
you think that
searches
griffin has
are
balls?
everywhere. Do griffins have testicles?
He's got the lion half right here. So.
Yeah, I know.
If you look it up, comment and let us know down below.
Griffin balls.
Start a poll. Send it to Gary Gygax.
So, Salon
He's
looks at
dead.
Thorn and says, well, you're the last one.
So, just so, like, while he went on his little ride, since Thorin knows that he's the last one left, he would have used that time to cast Speak with Animals, with Beast Speak.
So,
Last week we were warned
not to use magic.
Ah,
Yeah, not to use magic in the introduction.
okay.
Which is why I will let you take that back.
Okay, then, yeah.
Yeah?
Okay. I'll take it back. If I'm not supposed to, then I won't.
Yeah, they were explicitly warned not to use magic in the introductions.
So, Thorin will walk in. He's got the wrapped package on his shoulder,
Okay.
and in his other hand, in his staff, is a staff. And when he gets to the center, he'll place his staff down in front of him, and he will gracefully bow and say, "Hail, noble ones! I hope today finds you well."
Hail and well met.
Did you write fucking notes?
Thorin would have had all this time.
He's got the script.
Roll performance at disadvantage because you took notes. Roll performance.
Magnanimous.
His introduction may benefit him somewhere else. Just because you do a thing doesn't mean you always get the benefit for that roll.
Right away.
Yeah,
22.
not high enough. Thorin gets eaten by like 7 of them as they ignore the hunk of flesh there.
And then he dies.
And then he dies. A horrible death. 3 times. 3 times. Because somebody resurrected him.
Joke's on you. We like dwarves more than hippogriffs.
So roll percentile.
Alright.
Watch him. He gets 2 different friends.
And then a d20. And then add those numbers together.
Siamese griffins.
You know, of the commercial of that guy, and he's between 2 like tractor trailers, and he like does the
So,
splits.
41.
Thorns trying to be like
Wow.
both griffins.
Roll a d4.
2.
So, unlike nearly everyone else, there don't seem to be many griffins that take an interest in Thorin. But one from each end of the open field, they kind of step out into the arena and they slowly walk straight to the center to like inspect what's going on. And, these are two that you haven't seen really approach anyone else. Like these 2 have been doing their own thing while everybody else has been interacting. And they approach Thorin and they don't circle, they just kind of stop in front of him.
When they stop in front of me, I will take the package off my shoulder and I will unwrap it and say, I hope...
Fight to the death!
Only the strong can be mine.
I hope this meager gift of a hippogriff throat suits you. And I'll bow again.
Here.
Meat, yo.
Well, like I'm not just throwing it over. I'm like.
No, I understand. Roll charisma.
Okay.
Straight charisma.
Charm the pants off. If they had pants.
Mod 20.
Yeah, it's not really performance because he's not attempting. He's just being his normal self with animals. So it's not really performing. So yeah, it's a straight charisma roll. So you said a 20, a mod 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so the griffins both bow, but neither of them touches the meat.
You weren't supposed to hear that.
My eyes suck, my ears do not.
Your mouth also does.
So does your mom's.
Damn right it does.
So, the griffins kind of like stand there staring at Thorin for a little bit. And how does Thorin feel? Like they've inched closer and closer to him, so that now like you can feel their breath in your face.
I mean, Thorin knows animals, so like, I feel like he would also know not to like back down. So like,
And griffins are extremely rare, right? Like only the wealthiest or the best equipped armies have them.
yes, but he's also got to see 7 other people interact with them. And
But
so
Sam didn't.
But we're not talking about Sam. We're talking about Thorin.
Yes, you're right.
So he would understand by this point that like a more forceful gaze is probably necessary here than...
Roll animal handling.
Okay.
We'll see if he comes to that conclusion himself.
Mod 19.
Okay. Roll intimidation then. At advantage. Is it even possible for Thorin to intimidate?
Hey, bro, you intimidated yet?
Mod 21.
Drink this kombucha and like it. Mod what?
21.
Mod 21. Okay. So one of the griffins gracefully bows out and walks away. And the other, however, is like in Thorin's face, like just like with Dimble, like face to face, touching, and is like Thorin can feel the slight pressure of this griffin pushing, and it stops pushing, and it just immediately walks next to Thorin and holds its wing up.
All right. Thorin.
And as Thorin takes too long to decide to get on, you watch as the griffin starts batting him with his wing. It's like one of those hurry up type feelings.
As soon as he gets over and puts his wing down, Thorin gets on the griffin's back.
Okay. The griffin jumps straight into the air. I'm going to need that strength check, please.
All right. Hold this one, yep. Mod 20.
Okay, so Thorin holds on as this griffin just lurches itself into the air. And it flies almost vertically up, right? And when it gets to the height that about all of the other griffins have done, except for one, it just goes really smoothly. Doesn't try to do anything nasty. And after a minute or two, it starts a slow descent. During the descent, though, it starts corkscrewing. So I'm going to need some strength checks.
All right.
Thorin the Strong.
Shiny die is hard to see. 16?
Okay. So in one of the corkscrews, you lose your grip and you slide off of the griffin's back. And it's not like a fast one either. It's like that slow, like a foot at a time. And then you're like at the griffin's tail, and as you slip off, the tail is in front of you. Where do you go? Three.
Misty step back onto the back.
Let me check something.
Then you misty step onto a mount.
I am accessing D&D Beyond.
Rules.
I need to read now because
Because you weren't expecting this!
Nobody expects the Spanish Misty stuff.
you cannot.
I can't?
Yeah, I'm gonna say
That was definitely
it
a
requires
mistake.
an empty space.
Okay.
It requires an unoccupied space, and the griffin's back is its back. So
Griffin's cat.
yeah, it's a good idea though, but I'm gonna say no because it's also moving.
Yeah.
Right?
Could
Yeah.
I go in front of it so that like I would land on it, or?
You fall off. Whoa! How did
No.
you get here?
No. How far up am I, did you say, at this point?
Really, really far.
Alright, well then I guess I have to
The
try.
tail is waving in front of you.
Yeah, then I have to grab the tail, I guess.
I was hoping you weren't going to do that, but go for it. Roll that sleight of hand check. That sleight of hand.
Well then hopefully I fail this. You didn't want me to do this.
No, I wanted you to do it.
Oh.
Hippogriff probably doesn't.
Griffin's probably like, nah.
Are they griffin?
Yep, nope, that's...
Too many
Do I
grips.
want...
You can always choose to fail.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure I failed with this. I'm just wondering if I want to do inspiration or not. No? Alright, yeah, no, choose to fail with a 4.
Well, let's be clear. That's not a choice.
It's a choice because I didn't use inspiration.
that was a choice.
Yes.
So Thorin goes to grab the tail, but misses.
Yeah.
And after a second, the griffin looks back and doesn't see you there anymore. Roll perception.
Alright. Perception, 14.
You're pretty sure the griffin looks terrified as the griffin changes its trajectory to intercept you as quickly as possible.
Okay.
And after 5 or 6 seconds of falling away from the griffin catches you. And it's almost like a nursemaid kind of feeling. Like the griffin keeps looking back at Thorin. And the griffin doesn't even continue flying. It just like flies down to the ground and lands in the courtyard.
Alright.
And when Thorin goes to get off, the griffin holds its wing up to prevent Thorin from getting off. And the griffin like gets down and lets Thorin off. And once Thorin is off, the griffin like gets up and then walks around Thorin, and it's almost like a mother dog checking the puppy. And it's like nudging Thorin constantly. And Thorin gets the sense that the griffin wants to know that Thorin is okay.
Does the griffin lick his butt though?
No. No.
So I'll reach my hand out to like the neck area, like just kind of pet it and be like, "Thank you. Yes, I am fine."
Okay, now give me a strength check.
All right.
It's gonna jump on him.
17.
You watch as this griffin like seemingly walks around Thorin, like just making sure he's okay, and then after Thorin pets the griffin's neck, the griffin just like takes his head and shoves Thorin on his ass. And the griffin walks to the edge of the arena. Nope.
Alright, Thorin gets up and walks over to
Khalid?
Salid.
Salon.
Salon.
Khalid's the bad guy. I keep forgetting. Too many S's.
Everybody
So-
Salon good, Salid bad.
Did that go successful? And if so, what's that one's name?
Well, she seemed to be really worried about you when you got back until she shoved you. But that was Zanara.
Your HIV test came back Salid.
It's like, well, you've all done the initial bonding with the griffins, so you've all found ones you like, and you've agreed. You have not changed your minds, have you?
We have not.
Because until the contract's signed, you're free to walk away. And my initial offer still stands. I'll give you what you need to make it to the desert and back. But
No, I think we are all in agreement to do your task. We should find someplace quiet to discuss the details and whether or not we have time for maybe a day of us to take some flying lessons.
well, first you have to finish the bonding.
Oh, that wasn't it?
It's not done?
No, no, that's the easy part,
Oh!
Nice.
and that's where we're gonna end the session.
Oh no. Oh no. What's the hard part, Gordon? We need to know. Damn it.
Everybody gets 1,500 experience.
And Gordon, don't forget to assign experience.
Dimble, and Thorin both get 2,000.
Thanks for looking out for us,
because
Will.
your intro RP with the Griffins was really good.
Okay.
The effort put into like communicating was good, so you get extra 500 each.
Thank you.
Andrew, you can have an extra 500 too, because I feel bad for how shitty you rolled them.
Seven.
Skylar, I don't feel bad for how bad you rolled.
No, look, I'd be apologizing more to Ben than anybody else at this point.
Not in public, Skylar.
I was joking. You don't actually get an extra 500.
Ah.
That would be unfair to everybody else who rolled
I
badly.
agree.
Unless we collectively agree to give him some pity points. I'm up for giving him pity points.
Yep.
Fuck him. If I give him any
Fuck him.
I don't get to
What
make
about
the
my pity?
Yeah.
I want pity.
I don't get to
my
make the
pity.
level.
Oh man, guys, we got Griffin so
I'm at
far.
64.
We're not dead yet.
Yeah, I'm level 10 as well.
What's the time? Not dead yet.
You know what?
Huh.
I'm
I'm
might
almost
have been
there.
premature.
Uh-oh.
We might have time.
Yeah! Let's do it. So guys, I'm running a kobold.
Yeah, I
only
did say we were gonna
campaign.
go a
If
little
you'd
bit
like
over,
to
didn't
join,
Does
you
anybody
can
have
only-
problems if we're here like an extra 15 or 20 minutes?
No.
Nope.
So what time would we be leaving at that point?
At like 10 of 10, quarter to 10.
I think I'm fine with that, yeah.
Are you good? Everybody good?
Yeah.
Hey,
Alright,
we
then-
lied. We're actually still going.
We're still here.
Well, it hasn't gotten up, so I think we're still recording. Yeah, okay. Well, I lied because I'm a bad DM and I'm bad with time.
So I hope you notice this video is still an extra couple minutes before you clicked off.
I changed my mind. Can we end so that we can dispose of a body, please?
Please
I can help.
Please.
So my
Okay,
goal
so-
in the campaign.
Salon looks at you guys and says, well, I mean, that was the easy part in the sense that, like, now magic is involved. So the bond can be pretty rough, like psychologically and physically. So if anybody's afraid of what could happen, because I can't tell you what would happen because it's different with everybody. But if you're not okay with this, you should walk away now. But I'm going to assume that you're all okay with it because griffins.
At this point, we've already kind of committed, you know.
Yeah. And
So like he motions for like a few stable hands to come, and they separate out the griffins that bonded with you guys, and they pull them in, and they said, so this is going to be painful.
How are we arranged with the griffins that are?
Well, they've lined the griffins up like in a line.
Are we in front of them, or?
Well, you guys are just like kind of standing together right now. You haven't go to stand in front of the griffin.
Okay.
But he's gonna look. He says, so if just go stand with and stand it like in front of facing the griffin that you bonded with, and then the griffin will do the rest. Don't jerk away, or bad things could happen. If you feel uncomfortable and change your mind, slowly walk away. Don't just like jerk away. But
Are
Thorin
we
goes
allowed
to stand
to
in
talk
front
during
of
this process?
Isanara.
I would keep your mind as clear as possible.
And this magic will help us know our griffin's location, allow us to speak with them, something like that, or
It's not the same with everyone.
okay,
It's really up to the griffin what they do.
interesting. And Oglen makes his way to Sunwing.
Thorin already started moving towards Isanara.
I'm sure Thorin was like skipping over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everybody makes their way to the griffin that bonded with them.
Right up the storm
Friendship
spike.
ended with goat friend.
Yeah,
Griffin
right
is my
up to
new
that.
best friend.
The griffin's gonna eat girlfriend.
No.
I mean, if it's what you want, best friend, go ahead.
Ember is somewhere feeling betrayed right now.
Hey, what Ember don't know.
Ember's on her way back to Egeria, and she's just got this sinking feeling in her heart.
Like,
You've cheated on her.
I eat those! Oh, not that one.
I mean,
So-
Ember likes me more, so if I have a wolf, a goat, and a griffin, I think I can make a manicore out of this.
Oh no! Oh
Thorin's end game has been revealed.
He's gonna breed a bunch of
Collect
creatures together to
all
make
the
a new
pets.
creature. When he could just go out in the world and find that creature. So, you guys are all standing in front of your griffins.
Actually, I was thinking more full metal alchemy.
That's exactly
Yeah, that's
what I
what
was
I
thinking.
Big brother Thorin.
Oh, that's disgusting.
So many gurgles.
So you guys are all standing in front of your griffins, and Salon says, remember, try to stay calm, keep your mind clear, don't panic, it's gonna hurt, there's gonna be quite a bit of pain involved. And he says, and just stare them in the eyes. So I need everyone to roll percentile. Let's see who's the most successful at calming themselves, knowing that they're about to be in pain.
Pain is an old friend.
Yes.
92.
I thought I was supposed to be the edgy one.
Shut up, boatman.
Shut up, boatman.
It's Horseman now.
Oh, that's horseman to you. 48.
Wait,
15.
wait, what?
98.
Let me see. Let me see.
I'm pretty sure that's just Thorin's permanent state. Oh, we're in a really bad place. Hey, I have a bear trap. We can rescue somebody with it.
Yeah.
Fine. Yeah, it's a
Is-
2.
is it
I
actually-
had to find the other one.
Unfortunately, it's actually the reverse this time. The lower the better.
Oh, I got a 16 then.
The less that's going
It's
on with the
between
lower the
4
number
and
in your
0.
head, right? Like Thorin's super excited right now.
16.
Was there not a 15?
I did a 15.
Manticore friend.
Of course he did. Always got a 1
I
down.
got it.
No, he's feeling bad right now because GoFriend. Is he betraying GoFriend right now?
What are my responsibilities?
Well, I've got a lot on my mind because it's like,
Edgy and being
is there any other things that you guys want to bring up? It's like, oh, I
No.
need someone to take care of goat friends while we're away, so I guess I could try and leave him here.
Oh,
And
that
then
was
you bring
taken,
it up
that was
later.
taken care of.
Oh.
Yeah, that was taken care of for you guys.
Oh.
GoFriend, all of the mounts, all of the ground mounts are being taken back to Ageria right
Oh, okay.
Do we still have our weapons? Like the
now. Nobody explicitly said they were bringing their weapons with them to the meeting.
Right.
So if you didn't, then I assume you left them
when
in
we
your
left
tavern.
the hotel, we said we were packing as if we were leaving.
Yeah, we have
town
everything
from
on
there.
us.
So we
Okay,
Hotel.
I missed that. My bad.
Yeah, because we didn't know if we were rolling
Yeah,
out
you have
right
everything.
okay, cool.
You leave our
Except
bags.
for your dagger.
That's fine.
The super nice dagger that everybody doesn't believe me wasn't magical. So I'm just gonna get rid of it.
No,
It's just a nice dagger.
I still have a super cool coin. I gotta figure out what to do with it.
Good luck.
Super nice coin, though. My nice
I've
dagger.
been
So-
for months trying to figure that out.
So Ash's determination in not even doing this whole job has turned into a soft resignation, and you're standing in front of your griffin. And
Dream feather.
Dream feather, and roll perception at advantage since you rolled so low.
God.
Did he roll badly?
Yeah, I got a 2. 19.
You got the halfling that one.
You notice that Dream Feather's eyes starts to glow like a soft blue, and you feel like a coolness come over your entire body. I'm gonna need you to roll a d20.
Ooh, let's roll the purple die. 13.
Okay, so you take 13 psychic damage.
Yes. It's working.
And you feel like a connection forming, similar to the connection that you share with Dimble and Oglen when you communicate with your telepathic speech. It's almost that same feeling, except this one feels more physical. Like you could get hurt, and the griffin could get hurt as well, or vice versa. And you start to hear the thoughts of the griffin take a
Become coherent.
become cohesive in your mind as the griffin starts communicating with you. Now I need you to roll 3 d20s.
Yes. Watch me die.
Hopefully.
That's how much
As
taller
one
you are
shot,
now.
it's landing in your head.
Why do I have to roll so hard? Why do I have to roll so hard?
2 16s and an 18.
2 16s and an 18.
So
16, 30.
32, 50.
Yeah.
I'm still
You
alive.
take 50 psychic damage. I need everyone else to roll percentile to see if they would. So you feel you not so much see, but you feel that you fall to the ground on your knees, your hands and knees, and you're just overwhelmed by the pain that's going on in your head right now.
56.
Did anyone roll higher than a 70?
If you reverse my numbers, it did.
If you reverse my numbers, it's the
Okay, so if
same.
you rolled higher than a 70, you are distracted by Ash.
Roll a 71.
Wow. So what Thorin sees is he sees the griffin's head is like down on the ground, almost like it's in pain. And you see the glowing of its eyes as it's staring at Ash. And you see Ash's eyes, they are also glowing that same soft blue. And he is on the ground and he looks like he is in pure agony right now.
I'm gonna take a sip of kombucha and be like, this is gonna be some shit. Just trying to re-steal myself.
So after what feels like forever down there in pain, it clears away and Ash stands up somewhat unsteadily. And you look straight ahead and the griffin's right there, and the griffin speaks to you in your mind and says, "Well met."
Who
I was maybe a little more rough than I needed to be in the bonding, but I needed to see what you were made of.
Wait, one sec.
Flesh and bits.
Okay, I don't say it. I was gonna say, if it was above 50, I was gonna say 17 times, really? Really? But I guess I'll just continue looking because it hurts so much that I can't really say anything.
Okay. So I believe the next number was Matteo's.
16. If you're curious, I had 2 health left. After those rolls, I had 2 health left.
So Matteo's standing there, and he is. The universe isn't sure how, but he's managed to clear his mind of everything
Somehow.
somehow.
A miracle.
And you're staring at your griffin, and you notice that its eyes start to go a soft blue, and you feel like a warm sensation for a second, and then it starts to cool your entire body. Roll a d20.
It's the halfling curse. 20.
Take 20 damage.
Damn it. Okay.
Look at Ben, just straight looked at his health. Haha, you're gonna die, bitch.
Hold on.
Ben straight went.
Okay. Sucks to suck.
And you start to feel like a consciousness in the back of your mind. And then the pain intensifies, and Matteo falls to his knees, and his hands on the ground, and everything is like has been drowned out by the pain and the noise that's in your head right now. I need you to roll 3 more d20s. Oh, and if you go unconscious during this, you just die, by the way.
Oh, you'd love to see that.
8, 18, 6. That's 18.
Only for
42.
Matteo, though.
32.
32. 32.
So if any of us go unconscious, Matteo dies?
Yes.
It's like on the last one, they go unconscious and
Just everybody goes unconscious.
Everybody chooses to go unconscious. I choose to fail.
Alright, Matteo dies!
Okay.
That's good to know how everybody feels about his character.
I know, wow. I feel great.
He just got the armor, so.
I know, they're like, we want
We're all
it.
There, we gotta
jealous.
get his stuff.
He might be
So I
211.
actually do need to know how much health you have left.
59.
Out of
Including Hero's Feast or no?
no, just your base health.
97.
So like roughly 50%.
About, yeah,
Okay.
a little over.
Okay. Keep that in mind. I'm gonna need to know that. So I'm not gonna role play with each of your griffins tonight. I'm gonna be honest. We're just gonna speed through this
That's
because.
fine.
So after a couple of seconds, you know the pain starts to subside, and you stand up, and you have this new awareness of a connection, and the griffin like looks at you, and you do hear in the back of your mind, you know, a greeting, you know, properly introduced to now, and then you're done. So the encounter is the same for everyone. You know, you after enough time standing there and letting everything fall away that could be distracting you, you start to notice that your griffin's eyes start to glow a soft blue. And the people who finished, you notice, like Ash didn't notice, and Matteo didn't notice, but you notice that everyone's else eyes, when the griffin's eyes start to glow blue, everyone else's eyes do the same. And I'm gonna need everyone to roll a d20. Sam, you only have to roll a d10.
Okay.
You only have to roll a d10 and a d6. And then you take that as psychic damage. This damage cannot be reduced, by the way.
I took a big 4.
That's what.
You rolled a d20.
I rolled a d20 and got a
You rolled a 4. The one time that you're like, yeah.
One time. Yeah.
4.
Oglen's so numb, he can't feel mental pain anymore.
So the sensations you feel vary from cool to warm to, in some cases, hot. That always finishes with stepping into a cold river. And as it starts to get intense and you like kind of hit the ground on your knees, I'm gonna need everybody to roll 3d20s except Sam. I need 3d10s, and Justin, I need 2d20s and a d6. Did Did you max?
Ironic, the largest one rolled the best.
Almost. You maxed the damage?
Almost.
Almost. That's funny. And you take that damage. So starting with Andrew, what is Brudall's maximum health?
53 minus 30.
And how much damage did you take?
Originally 12? Or
36 would be 14 plus 3.
it was.
Or I'm sorry, how much do you have left? I should
Oh,
say.
currently 88.
After you took all the damage.
No, the extra
I almost
three
rolled
would've
max on
been
my 3d20s too.
Yeah, I got 10, 10, 8.
32, so.
Almost got murked by my griffin.
56.
Twice.
Yeah, that'd be 56 now.
So over half.
I forgot I had Misty Step.
Yeah.
But when I realized you guys were missing something,
What about
I
you?
was like, oh, I have that too.
You have over half your actual health left.
No.
Don't include bonuses like temporary. You do not? Okay.
No, I didn't count that.
What about Truegar?
I am over half my health.
Okay.
What
What'd
did
you
that
say?
happen?
I forgot to count the temporary HP, which I had about 8. So.
Don't count. This isn't reduced by anything. This damage doesn't get reduced by temporary hit points.
Okay.
Are you still over half?
I mean,
If it's just coming off of your
Twice.
actual health,
Then it'd still put me just under.
just under half? Okay.
Damn, my griffin's gonna think I'm a little bitch.
You were just over half?
I am over
Can't
half.
hold
With the
on,
new
can't
information
take
of
the
not
psychic
counting
damage.
the temporary hit points to
That is
reduce
correct,
it?
I'm still over
Okay.
half.
I need
Okay,
to.
you do want my bottom
You
section
were
through the back of the
over
head.
half.
Yeah.
What about Ash?
Over half.
Were you
Oh,
over?
under, way
Under.
under.
Oh, yeah.
Like I'm at 1%, basically.
Very barely conscious.
Yeah, 2 health.
Still over half.
You know, like in the Pokemon battles, your Pokemon's
I'm over
this is what
75.
percent
So.
of that.
Same here.
1.8%.
So both over half. Okay.
Correct.
That's pretty good.
Correct.
Okay. So, after a few minutes, Salon looks at you guys, each of you, and says, "Well, hurt, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was going to.
Take another 5d20s in damage." He says, "It's okay. I said that too when they asked me, but I was also on the ground crying when I was done." He rolled 1.
I think Ash would stand up and he'd do that kind of like whoa, like wobble backwards and like go to one knee.
Roll percentile.
88.
So you guys watch as Ash stands up and he like the wobbles back and forth, but the griffin like steps in behind him to catch him as he starts to fall backwards, and he's now leaning against his griffin's shoulder.
And do the griffins look like they too have been taxed by this experience?
They do not.
They don't. It's just us. Okay.
So same rules apply. Outside of situations where I force you to use them in combat for narrative reasons, if you place your griffin in combat, it becomes a viable target, right? So unless there's a narrative reason for it to be there, I won't explicitly attack it. But if you just insert it into an encounter just because, it becomes fair game.
Do we get to know its stats or anything, or is that
Next week.
Okay.
I'll have cards, well, pieces of paper for you guys next week. They're not actually entirely done yet. Your griffin can communicate freely with the one that it's bonded to. So Dimble can communicate with Hayes. And then all of the griffins can communicate with one another telepathically.
Now you had Salon had mentioned that these griffins would, if they choose to be bonded with our children, is the same bonding process, you know, blue eyes, writhing pain, all that good stuff, the same?
It's the same for everyone.
Children typically don't have a lot of hit points, so you probably don't like
Do you have any inspiration? I was going to take it all away from
No, you gotta give it to him. No, it's too good.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's
That
right.
motherfucker's gonna get a 3 and be like, yeah, I died.
Children are like
How much
a
health do you have left?
CR0 in D&D.
59.
Take 58 points of damage.
Always gotta one-up you this time.
Although I was just thinking with Truegar and his husband, children's gonna be tough. Although without Car, anything is possible, so I'll just keep inseminating my husband and hope for the best.
I don't think that's how gods work.
Wait, you said that in character? You actually said that? I didn't see a hand in the air. So.
Oh, he said it right to his griffin, too.
Right to his griffin.
Wait, if you say something out loud, does your griffin hear it in its mind, even if it's far away?
Well, if you say it out loud, the griffin, they can understand any language that they choose to understand.
No, I'm talking about distance-wise. Can they still hear it in their head, even if they're out of earshot?
I don't know. I've never tested the range of the...
Find out next session when we test out the limits of griffins.
Somebody's gonna fly on somebody else's
You want to test
griffin's
the limit
back.
of griffins? Banish.
Hey, can you hear me? Yeah.
Where would you go?
What about now? So he's like looking at you guys waiting because it was like some of you were gonna ask questions.
Terry just taps his foot. So what now? What?
You guys literally just went to this dude's house. Was like, hey, can I get a ride? He gave you rides, and then you have no questions for him about the rides.
No questions about the rats.
So, did you bond with every single one of them?
No, I bonded with my father's griffin.
What's his name?
His father or the griffin?
Or both.
Yeah, that wasn't a very direct question.
What's your
I have that written down somewhere.
He tells me.
Please say it's Griffin the Griffin.
Griff.
Is your father still alive?
Griffin door.
No, he was killed 7 years ago.
In a household?
No, not in one that was declared. He was assassinated.
I'd probably pipe up and say, is this done? Are we done with this? No more pain, right?
It's Yellarith, by the way. His griffin's name.
That's right, Ash. No more pain.
Well, I mean, I can't promise that you'll never face pain in your life again.
No.
But there won't be any more pain from the bonding.
Yeah. And Oglen will do a quick warmth of the sun for everybody. We can heal all the folks in Salon if he wants it.
4d10.
The Griffins.
Why would
they
you do
want
that
it.
now? We're
Because
going to get thrown into a feud.
yeah, that's right. I've got
4d10 plus
You
one.
have two
What?
He's got resident casters. They're probably no
Your
heal.
real.
Yo, they might.
But it's
Regardless.
Oglen.
They might.
It heals what?
I can't remember. It's on my
4d10?
computer. No,
4d10,
I'm
you
just
roll it,
guessing
plus your
from
con.
memory what it was. Your Relith, I think.
So we take another 4.
You heal for 4d10.
I rolled like crazy.
Because Oglen used his ability.
One of the things that she's 29.
I'm still in oof territory. One hit and I'm probably down.
Plus 5 is 4.
What did I say he named his griffin?
Yellarith.
Yellarith, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm pretty
Yellarith.
sure that's it.
Yeah, basically back up to max.
I'm almost to max as well.
Must be nice.
That was a good
It is.
roll.
And wait, do we add our con to that?
That's right.
Yeah,
Just once.
just once.
So I'm almost to max.
So not to sound callous.
Why'd you guys get such
Is this in character?
Yes.
What'd you get?
I'm asking Salon,
I only got 20.
not to sound callous, but how long can our new friends go without eating? Say in the middle of the desert, we can't exactly expect.
Are
a
we
stream of
speaking
supplies.
without a mood shift? Like without them becoming hangry? Or just in, like, until they die?
I think he meant figuratively, like.
Yeah, a mood shift. Like, obviously, when a human hasn't eaten for days, they can't get in a bad mood. I would like to know when my customer will.
It really depends on the size of their last meal. I'm sure you've already realized, but these aren't normal griffins. They're tainted by magic.
Tainted. More like enhanced, I'd say. It's pretty
Blessed.
cool. Blessed, yeah.
No, they're the result of a terrible experiment.
Oh, well, yeah. I'm very sorry to hear that.
Was this magic insidious in nature?
Yeah, it was meant to dominate and control them.
Do all the
Are they-
griffins look the same? Or
No.
are they like have a
You'll
little
get
tiny
you'll get basic descriptions of each of your griffins.
Okay.
When you're
These evil experiments, are they now more or less free for the most part of this insidious magic?
well, they'll never be free of the magic itself, but
Unless we kill them.
Freedom right here, boy.
hey, you want some freedom? I got it for you.
He said let
Just
freedom
whips out a
reign.
knife.
That's American type freedom.
There's no oil involved.
He said, let freedom ring. I cast Toll of the Dead.
It was sadly an experiment conducted by one of my forefathers that led to their current state, which is why my father and his father have cared so well for them since.
Penance.
And in return for the care, they fight for us or allow us to use them to ferry people or things to places.
And this enslavement magic. that
Speaking
has
of care, what are some basic instructions that we need to if we're traveling with them?
He's the leader.
Care for them.
So obviously he immediately pays attention to Dimble because everybody has, asked Dimble what he thinks about things.
He's just too cute to say no.
Really,
to.
they take care of themselves for the most part. If they disappear for a couple of hours when they're not needed, I wouldn't worry. They're probably out hunting. The only thing I would say that is if you are in a battle, you need to make sure you clean their armor as soon as you can, because they are not. They don't look favorably upon looking bad or dirty. They'll tell you if they need you to do anything. Otherwise, just treat them as you would treat a friend or a close relative or somebody that you care a great deal about. And in some of your cases, treat them like you treat yourself.
Oh, yeah. Good idea.
And others, treat them better than you would treat yourself.
I'm gonna treat mine like Oglen.
Aww.
He's gonna die.
I'm definitely not treating them, man.
And that is actually where we will end the session.
Yahoo!
We actually finished 5 minutes before 9:30.
We did it!
6 minutes of mine.
Well, I didn't feel like doing the extra math for that minute.
Does that change?
Guys, we
the
have
XP?
griffins.
Let's do it.
Nope.
We get 69 extra experience.
Though
Nice.
had you guys not done that tonight and waited until next week, you would have gotten experience for it twice.
I'm not trying to cheat the system or anything. I can't believe I've been
I'm
rolling
guessing I don't
shit
get
kind
this
of all
bonus
night,
X
but I roll when I
health
don't
that
need to
everyone
roll
got from the
high enough.
Heroes Feast.
I think it was
So I
16.
did the math wrong, and 56 would have.
Oh, it was just 16?
Points
Oh,
over,
okay.
not
And it
3
raises
points
your
under.
maximum. But I
Alright,
think
I
it
wrote
only
it in my
lasts a
notes.
day or something.
I just let you know.
Yeah, I think we're getting rid
It's
of
actually
ours.
important.
Yeah, I
Take
think so.
by the long run, but
I don't care. I
you
have
guys didn't care if I did.
15 at all points because of my
Pretty sure either
Pact,
way
right?
I've already
yeah.
grown up and
I
pissed
thought it was like
myself on this
2d10
griffin, so
plus your
it
con
probably
or
has its
something like
mindset
that?
on me already.